Northeast. Fox with a 2, off the backboard, no good. Rebound, Chloe Seamy. Seamy pushes the basketball up the left side, down to the corner to Elise Doherty. Doherty cross-court pass over to Albertini. Three-pointer by Seamy from the baseline. Long, no good. Chambers with the weak side rebound for the Indians. Now Albertini for a 3. Good, got it. Rattled it home, did Sophia Albertini, and ties the score at 5.
Yeah, you notice, Dan, we talked about the lack of offensive rebounds. What happens there? We get the offensive rebound, we get a second shot at the basket, and it goes in for us.
Northeast basketball. Allison Newport with the basketball, feeds it off to Jackson, back up top to Claffey. Claffey gets it knocked away by Doherty and out of bounds. Subs into the game for Northeast. Number 23, Sigmund, checks into the ball game. Northeast basketball, top of the key. We are up and running on the live stream, so it should be good to go, I think. Steal by Claire Bradshaw all the way down, and it's shot up, no good, but she's fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Nice job by Claire. She gets the steal, was out in front of the rest of the team, so she took it all the way length of the court and kind of initiated the contact, but the girl wasn't set or vertical, and she gets the foul call.
Bradshaw at the line to shoot 2, rattles the first one home. The Indians takes a 1-point lead, 6-5, 2:23 left to go here in the first period. Bradshaw settles in for her second. It's on its way up and right through there, gives the Indians 2-point lead. Sigmund with the basketball, brings it all the way down against Albertini, feeds it up top to Jackson, over to Fox. Fox at the left wing, dribbles towards the top of the key, up above the timeline. Count is on, Kenna Doherty on her. Sigmund down to the corner, three-pointer by Claffey, rattles it home. And Northeast takes a 1-point lead, 8-7. Northeast timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Northeast leads 8 timeout by the Arma coach. Chloe Seamy with the basketball into the lane. A little pull-up jump shot, short off the backboard, no good. Fox with the rebound for Northeast. Doherty picks her up, Kenna Doherty. Fox now in a little bit of trouble, feeds it off to Claffey. She gets past one, feed it inside to number 11, shot up, no good. Claire Bradshaw blocks it, gets the rebound, she's fouled. That shot was put up by Underwood for the Northeast Arma.
Nice job by the Indians with that backside help defense. We went for the steal on the perimeter. Didn't get it. Girl got around her and threw it down low, but we were there to get the block shot and get the ball back.
Indians trail 8-7. Here's a full court pressure by Northeast. Josie Harris back into the game to the right. Trap comes. Now fed to the middle to Claire Bradshaw. 3-on-2 opportunity. Kenna Doherty feeds it back to Bradshaw between her legs. She chases it down up top to Albertini. I can see some opportunities against that press if the Indians are a little more aggressive. Quick turnaround shot by Emerald Struthers is no good. Short. Rebound comes to Northeast. Claffey with the basketball for Northeast Arma. Another slow offensive start for the Lady Indians.
Yeah, I can't complain about the shot selection, but we're just not getting them to fall, Dan. But like I said, that's kind of been a theme all season long at times.
Fox with the basketball up above the timeline. Kenna Doherty picks her up. Dribbles to her left, feeds it up top to Jackson. Jackson almost a steal by Harris, gets it to Claffey down to the corner to Underwood. Back up top to Fox. 3-point shot by her, short, and it goes out of bounds, goes back to the Indians as it did not touch the rim. Elise Doherty checks in for Kenna Doherty. Struthers feeds it into Albertini. 30 seconds left. Albertini feeds it back to Struthers passes it down the court to Doherty, to the corner to Harris. Harris ball fake, drives inside, Euro step, shot up, no good. Rolls off the rim, but she's fouled.
Nice job by Josie Harris, Dan. She got it on the baseline. She dribbled, just was kind of dribbling to the middle, but all of a sudden it opened up a little bit. She took it hard to the basket and got the foul call and going to the line to shoot two.
16.3 seconds left to go here in the first period. Harris ties it up at 8. Josie Harris coming off a nice game against Columbus. Ross had 13 points, I believe, on the night versus the Titans. Led the Lady Indians. Second shot up and right through there.
And I think she's kind of picking up where she left off as far as shooting free throws, because I think she had a really good free throw shooting night that night too, Dan.
Harris makes them both, gives the Indians a 9-8 lead. Three-pointer on the way by Northeast, no good. 7-second offensive rebound. Now there's going to be a foul. Is that going to be on Struthers? It is on Struthers. That's a third team foul on the Lady Indians. 5.3 seconds left to go here in the first period.
Second on Emerald.
Northeast basketball. Second foul on Struthers, as Ross just alluded to. Needs to be careful here with 5 seconds left to go in the first. Clafley now down the corner, wide open three-pointer. Long, no good. And a shot at the buzzer is no good. It was a good block out by Struthers, but just a long rebound. She couldn't quite corral it. At the end of one, Indians lead 9-8. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. This is St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse here at homecoming at St. Paul. Indians lead 9-8 over Northeast. Pass inside. St. Paul basketball. Seamy with the basketball. Oh, missed the cutter. Ava Chambers down at the baseline. Dribbles towards the wing. Gives to Bradshaw. Bradshaw in the lane. No good, but she's fouled.
Good ball movement against the zone, Dan. They were able to get it to Claire at the free throw line. She took one dribble closer to the basket and got fouled going up for the shot.
Just need to finish them shots, Ross. It was a contested shot, so Bradshaw go to the line to shoot two. A lot of trips to the foul line so far for the Indians. So far, good job from the foul line as Claire Bradshaw makes the first of two, gives the Indians a 2-point lead, 10-8.
Don't want to jinx us, but we haven't missed a free throw yet.
And he did. Kiss of death. It always is. Northeast basketball. You noticed I said we did a pretty good job of shooting free throws. I knew we hadn't missed one yet, Ross.
Okay. Well, I've been a little rusty coming back from the break, Dan.
Newport offensive rebound against, or offensive foul against Newport on the push-off. Gives it back to the Lady Indians. I know it doesn't have anything to do with it, but it sure does seem like every time you say something, it is the kiss of death and the jinx. Seamy down to the corner to Bradshaw. She's open for the three, but she passed up on it. Now she gets it stolen away when she was double teamed. Ball's loose on the floor. Good hustle. Seamy comes out there with it, and she's going to get fouled on the floor by Jackson, I believe, or Newport, I believe. It is on Newport. That's going to send Chloe Seamy to the line. Shoot the front end of a 1-and-1 as the Indians lead 10-8 with 7:16 left to go here in the first period. Seamy settles into the line. It's on its way and right through there. What's that make the Indians? 7 for 8 is my guess, Ross.
7 for 8.
7 for 8 from the foul line.
Or 6 for 7, Dan.
6 for 7 from the foul line. This will be as Seamy settles in. Shot on the way, off. Rebound Northeast, but a steal by Harris. Harris back to the lane, layup no good. Claire Bradshaw's rebound feeds it back to Harris, layup good, and she's fouled. good feed by Bradshaw. She got too far under the rim, so she shoveled it back to Harris. Harris, Johnny on the spot, puts it up and in there, is fouled. That foul is on number 23, Sigmund. Harris goes to the line to try for the and one and gets it.
That was a good example of the off defense creating offense, Dan. We pressured the ball after the missed free throw, didn't let him just get it up the court, and here we go with a steal by Josie Harris.
All the way down, and she's fouled. Good aggressive play by Harris as she's fouled going to the lane on that left-hand side when she attempted the layup. Drug her arms down, did the Northeast Iowa player 00 Claffey. So Harris goes to the line to shoot two. First one's right up and through there. Smooth like butter.
Like she's at the Knights of Columbus free throw shooting contest, Dan.
She settles in for her second, and it's right through there too. Gives the Indians a 16-8 lead. Pretty good run by the Lady Indians to start the second period, Ross.
Yeah, they're being aggressive on offense and driving it to the basket, and they're going to the free throw line.
Another steal by Harris. 2-on-2 opportunity. Euro step. Oh, she gets it knocked out of bounds, but it's going to be out on Arma. Elise Doherty running down the opposite side. Not much of an opportunity to get rid of that basketball, so she did the right thing and went straight to the rim. Lob inbounds to Harris. Back to the corner to Doherty. Feed inside to Claire Bradshaw. Good position. Turnaround shot. No good. Rebound's going to come down. It's going to be, boy, it's going to be a jump ball between Harris and Claire Bradshaw. I didn't know you could have that with the same team.
Yeah.
It looked like it. But 4 subs into the game for the Lady Indians. Josie Harris stays in. Into the game is Sophia Albertini, Kenna Doherty, Struthers, and Vitt. 6:35 left to go in a second. 16-8 is the Indians' lead. Fox with the basketball. Guarded out there by Doherty. Up above the timeline now. Now almost a steal by Albertini. 23 Sigmund to the rim. No good, but it's an offensive foul as Struthers had possession and draws the charge.
Yeah, that was good help defense again. Nice rotation on the backside. Sophia Albertini went for the steal on the wing. Didn't get it, so the girl had a wide open lane to the basket, but we rotated around and got the charge call.
Kenna Doherty with the basketball up top to Struthers. Now to Vitt. Vitt at left wing. Ball fake. Whips it across to Harris. Harris drives in towards the elbow to Struthers. Shot from the elbow. Short. No good. Just barely draws rim. Rebound comes back to Northeast Arma. Sigmund with the basketball for the Vikings. Crosses over against Albertini to Fox. Fox spins on Kenna Doherty. Good. Moves her feet. Cuts her off. Clafley with the three. In and out. No good. Number 13 had position on Struthers. Poked out by Struthers. Back out to the top of the key. Rebound to Sigmund as they reset. She crosses over. Step back three-pointer. Off the backboard. No good. Struthers with the rebound. Struther pushes the ball down the court. All the way into the lane. Pull-up jump shot. 10-footer right through there as Emerald Struthers scores. Full timeout. Northeast as Indians take a 18-8 lead. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul Basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back. 18-8. Indians up by 10. 5:17 left to go here in the second period. On the floor out of the timeout is Harris. Albertini, Vitt, Doherty, and Struthers. Fox or Newport with the basketball. Guarded out there by Albertini. Drives to the right. Little help comes from Vitt as they reset as Newport goes back up above the timeline. Clear out by the St. Paul Indian logo. Claffey with the basketball. Harris is on her.
Arm has really gone cold this second quarter, Dan. They have yet to score, and we're almost over 3 minutes into the quarter.
And as you speak, Jackson rifles it out of bounds as her teammate weaved when she should have bobbed. Bobbed when she should have weaved. Yeah. Maybe that's the way to put it. As she cut towards the basket, Jackson threw it to where she was. And that's a travel by Albertini as she kind of hesitated, looked to her right, went to throw it to Doherty to the left, and drug her feet before she got it there, and it was a travel. So a turnover. Indians turn it right back over to Northeast. Newport with the basketball for Arma against Albertini. Nice job by Albertini, making her feed it off to Fox. Kenna Doherty's on her. Fox dribbles to the right. Looks down now. She goes towards the baseline. Back towards the right elbow. And then she walks with the basketball. Good defense by Kenna Doherty. Exact same thing that happened to Albertini is Fox wanted to pass it, and an Indian jumped in the passing lane, so it made her hesitate and drag her pivot foot.
Yeah, just good defense by Kenna, keeping her feet moving and then keeping between her and her man and the basket.
And Struthers hits one just outside the free throw line. She has really been coming around on that mid-range jump shot, Ross.
Yeah, Indians, we haven't taken a three-pointer in quite a while, Dan. It's kind of like we've figured out that the holes in that zone are about 10-foot shots, and we're doing a nice job of getting it to the good spots and taking good shots.
3:35 left to go in the second period. 20-8, Indians up by 12. Subs into the game for the Lady Indians, Elise Doherty, Claire Bradshaw, and Simi. Chloe Simi. Clafley with the basketball. Now three-pointer by Fox, in and out, no good. Bradshaw chases down the rebound. Bradshaw pushes it down, feeds it to Kenna Doherty. Doherty, right into the pass lane is Newport. Newport with the steal, layup, no good. Rebound is Simi. Simi with the basketball, feeds it up to Elise Doherty. She drives the baseline, kicks it back out to Simi. Back up top to Vitt, whips it to Bradshaw, down to the corner to Kenna Doherty. And she's going to get whistled for the travel as took off just a little bit too quick. Quite a few turnovers on the Lady Indians. They're playing pretty decent defensively, holding the Vikings to a poor shooting percentage here in the second quarter. But one thing they need to improve on is too many turnovers, Ross.
Yeah, the first quarter they did a good job. Only had 2 turnovers. We've already got 4 here in the second quarter, Dan. And, that's just more shots that are taken away on every possession.
Double dribble by Newport, so another turnover as the Indians really has picked up that man-to-man defense, doing a good job of really covering in the passage lane.
Yeah, they're being very aggressive, really pushing Arma out, and Arma's not doing a good job of trying to just drive that ball to the basket and draw some fouls.
Simi with the basketball. Vikings staying out 1-3-1 zone defense, and the Indians is really, especially Struthers, figured out that right around that free throw line on the cutter is a little bit of an opening on occasion. Simi in the right to the left elbow to Bradshaw, back out to Simi, whips it to Kenna Doherty, three-pointer on the way, short off the iron, no good. And Ava Chambers with a good offensive rebound, but she's going to get whistled for the walk as she got hammered from both sides. Yeah, she did. She chased that rebound down and kind of got sandwiched in between 2 Vikings, and
yeah, I'm not sure.
Didn't have much of a choice but to travel.
Not sure what the refs saw on that one, but definitely didn't see what we saw.
Northeast basketball. Fox with it. Dribbles against Kenna Doherty. Got a little running lane, and she's fouled, and she'll go to the line. Pretty decent drive to the bucket by Fox as she got around Kenna Doherty on the screen. Got down around that right-hand block. Put up the shot. She missed it, but she's fouled by Chambers, her first. Just the 15th foul on the Indians, Ross, so that shows you how good a defense they've been playing, creating turnovers.
Yeah, when you consider that we play very aggressive man-to-man defense and we don't only have 5 fouls, Arma's not in the bonus yet, that shows our girls are moving their feet.
as Fox makes the first point in quite some time for Northeast. First point this quarter, and there's 2:20 left to go in the quarter.
Yeah.
Bradshaw drives the baseline, pull-up jump shot, long, no good. Backside rebound is going to be over the back on Kenna Doherty, and that's going to be the team's 6th team foul, 6th, and that is the first on Kenna. Indians doing a better job staying out of foul trouble. Excuse me. Clafley with the basketball, picked up at half court by Elise Doherty. Cuts her off, pass inside, stole by Chambers, but who's the foul going to be on? Oh, it's going to be on Chambers. Boy, it's a pretty good step around steal as she went in front of Underwood, but kind of got her leg tangled up with Underwood and gets whistled for the foul.
Yeah, I think she was, she wasn't grabbing or holding her, and she didn't push her, but I think, like you said, Dan, that leg just got tangled up and got the foul call. That's 2 quick ones on her.
And that's going to be a violation on Elise Doherty as Underwood kind of took a little double pump, and I also thought she was going to release it, didn't, and that made Elise Doherty step back in to block out. She makes Elise Doherty pay as she makes the front end of the 1-and-1 off the violation. It's a 10-point lead for the Indians, 20-10, 2:02 left to go here in the second period. Underwood settles in for her second. High off the rim, no good. Elise Doherty with the rebound. Doherty drives to the right, kicks to Simi, off to Bradshaw, over to Kenna Doherty, inside to Chambers, and Elise Doherty retrieves it. Kenna back up top to Claire, and she's going to get whistled for the travel. With 1:47 left to go here in the second period as the Indians continue to turn the ball over, but they still lead 20-10.
Yeah, Claire just got a little excited on that one. She thought she had an open lane to the basket and wanted to get going before she got her dribble going.
Sigmund with the basketball, loses it against Simic. Behind the back dribble, she's going to get called for the carry. Turns it over, gives it back to the Lady Indians.
Yeah, you can definitely tell our man-to-man defense is frustrating Arma just a little bit, Dan. They just get a little impatient and are rushing their shots when they do get them.
Simi with the basketball, off to Elise Doherty. Kenna Doherty, left wing. Claire Bradshaw shot, no good. Rebound comes out to Jackson. Fox now with the basketball. Drives to the right against Kenna Doherty. Screen set, switch comes. Bradshaw now on Fox. Clafley with the basketball. Right wing off to Sigmund. Sigmund drives a baseline in the double team, up and under shot. Good shot, but she misses it. Rolls across the rim, and Kenna Doherty comes out there with it for the Indians of St. Paul. Under a minute left to go. Simi was open for a 3, pass on it. Long cross-court pass to Elise Doherty. Drives in the lane. Pull-up jump shot off the backboard, no good. And Ava Chambers had it, but it goes out of bounds off her fingertips, and it goes back to the Vikings. Indians just kind of went stagnant on offense too, stuck on 20. 20-10, 47 seconds left to go here in the second period. Sigmund with the basketball for Northeast. Chloe Simi on Sigmund as she dribbles patiently. 30 seconds left. Albertini back in the game. She's on Fox. Fox to her left for the Vikings, and it's going to be a 5-second call on the Northeast Arma Vikings. Turns it back over to the Indians. What do you think here, Ross? Think the Indians will go for the last shot?
I think we're going to take the first one we get, Dan. It's my prediction.
I agree. Albertini with the basketball over to Bradshaw. Bradshaw to Simi. Simi bounce pass free throw line to Albertini. Kicks it out to Harris. 3-pointer on the way. Long, no good with 12 seconds left. And the Indians are going to get an over-the-back call, and it's going to send Northeast to the line with 12 seconds left. That's going to be on Chloe Simi. 9th team foul on the Indians, first on Simi.
Well, we were doing a very good job of not fouling for most of the first half, Dan, but probably the last 3 or 4 minutes we've gotten called for a few.
Bradshaw gets the rebound for the Indians off the miss, drives in the lane. She's fouled. She's going to whistle for a charge, and although she may have initiated a contact that, in my opinion, of Northeast Lady Vikings wasn't set, but with 4.5 seconds left to go in the half, the Indians are going to hold to a 20-10 lead. The Vikings are going to get the last chance. Full court pressure applied by the Indians. Don't want to foul here, Ross, but a steal would be nice.
Yeah, plenty of time to get a steal to get a good shot off.
Underwood counts on and finally gets it into Fox. 3 seconds, don't foul. Tries to feed it ahead to Jackson, knocked out of bounds. And that's going to be halftime. 20-10, Indians lead. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back. Mike up here. Welcome back. Halftime here at Billy Fager Fieldhouse. Lady Indians cling to a 20-10 lead where they've struggled a little bit offensively. Came along, had a good run to start that second period. Held Northeast, I think, just 3 points in that quarter. Has played well defensively, but too many turnovers there in that second period, Ross.
Yeah, we did a good job in the first quarter with only 2 turnovers. We had 6 in that second quarter, and that's 6 times down the court that we don't get a shot off, and we're struggling a little bit from the field. I think one thing the Lady Indians did do well is when we weren't making our shots, we started driving the ball to the basket and getting some foul calls and getting to the free throw line, and that was kind of our bread and butter. We had 9 free throw makes that half. Almost half our points are off free throws, and I think that was a good, smart move by the Lady Indians to start driving that ball to the basket to get those calls.
Yeah, the Indians has been aggressive going to the basket, which was good. They kind of found that open area just outside that free throw line. They're at that, running like you would if you was running the high-low post around the free throw line against that 1-3-1 zone. And the Lady Indians doing a good job of getting the entry pass on a cutter into that area, and then sometimes driving on into the basket and drawing that foul.
Yeah, Arma's 1-3-1's a little unorthodox from what you normally see. That the 3 girls in the middle are pretty far back into the lane, which is opening up that free throw line for our girls. And when they get it there, like I said, they can either take that short jump shot, and we've hit a couple of them at times. I know Emerald has 2 from there, or as the defenders are reacting to us getting the ball on the free throw line, we're able to drive that ball to the basket, and that's where we've got some of those calls.
We're going to have all the first half stats when we come back from this next timeout. Ross is going to go down scoring for us when we come back from this next 2-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back. Lady Indians lead 20-10 over the Vikings of Northeast. 4:19 left to go in halftime festivities here at St. Paul. Ross, you want to run down scoring?
Fairly balanced attack by the Lady Indians, led by sophomore Josie Harris with 7 points. She's a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line, with kind of continuing where she was shooting hot free throws against Columbus as well. Next, we have Claire Bradshaw. She had 4 points in the first quarter, a free throw in the second quarter to give her 5 on the half. Emerald Struthers hit 2 jump shots from the free throw line for 4 points. Sophia Albertini had a 3-pointer early in the first quarter, and then Chloe Simi was 1 for 2 from the free throw line for 1 point, which gives us our total of 20. Go ahead, Dan.
No.
Oh, okay. As far as, we've talked a little bit about the shooting woes tonight. Field goal percentage, we're shooting 29%. And if you can get that up about between 38 and 40% for our girls, that's a pretty good night for us, and really lets us, do a good job scoring. But right now, like I said, we're shooting 29%, struggling just a little bit from the 3-point line. We're only 1 for 6 for 17%, but we only shot 2 that second quarter. I think we kind of realized we weren't hitting from the outside, and realized that we were able to penetrate that zone of Arma, and did a nice job of driving to the basket. But where we're doing a good job tonight, Dan, is on the free throw line. 9 for 11 for 82%. So like I said, half our points are coming from the free throw line, and I would look for us to continue to try to drive that ball to the basket and get those foul calls in the second half.
That is something that the Lady Indians have done well this year, Ross. They shoot from the free throw line just a lot of times around that 80% mark from the free throw line. Really, that's where you should be, but a lot of times it's not that way. Their shooting percentage from the outside has been a struggle, but when they are aggressive and get to foul line. One other thing, Ross, that I've noticed is not just tons and tons of transition points this year, and usually that man-to-man defense will create a lot of turnovers and get you some transition points.
Yeah, this team, we talked a little bit before the game, is maybe not quite as, they're not a slow team by any means, but they're not maybe quite as quick as some of the past teams Doug Tuck has rolled out onto the court, and we don't seem to get those steals and those easy transition layups. We do get a few every game because the way we play defense, but man, some seasons it just seems like we were able to get 20 points a game off layups and steals, and we're just not quite getting those types of baskets this year.
Yeah, and the other thing that we've discussed a little bit is we don't have that real true. I guess we was spoiled by Katie Coombs having that true post player. We don't have a lot of short. We're not short by no means, but we have a lot of guards and what I would call forwards in basketball, not that true center.
Yeah, we probably don't have a true point guard, and we probably don't have a true center, but we got a lot of 2s and 3s and maybe a 4. But all of our girls can dribble the ball, and get the ball up and down the court. They are all quick on defense. But like you said, we don't have that post presence, and sometimes when you're struggling shooting the ball, if you have that 6-foot girl down on the block that you can just throw that in and she can get a couple of easy ones down low, boy, that sure gets the offense going, and we just don't have that luxury this year.
1:05 left to go as we get set to start the third period. We're going to take another short timeout. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse as we are underway, and a good first offensive possession for the Indians as Josie Harris buries a 3. Now a steal by Claire Bradshaw all the way down. Left-hand layup, too strong, no good. Indians fight for the rebound, still loose, and the Vikings coming out of there with it. Underwood feeds it back to Newport.
Yeah, Josie Harris showing she's more than just a free throw shooter, Dan, with that three right out of the gate.
As she goes for the steal, misses it, feeds it back up top to Underwood. Underwood, ball overhead, guarded by Struthers. Right wing over to Fox. Elise Doherty on her. Indians being more aggressive on defense here. I can see that help coming, trying for them steals. Now Jackson with it for the Vikings. Good feed to Claffey on the cut, but she traveled as she got hung up in the lane. She turned to go to shoot or looked to shoot, and there was an Indian right there in her face, and she kind of panicked, turned around, and traveled.
Yeah, it was a nice backdoor cut, but like I said, she couldn't keep her feet set.
Struthers against the press, feeds it on down to Bradshaw. A little 3-on-2, Bradshaw all the way in, jump shot. Boy, somebody all over her arm, but no call. I don't know how. Didn't call a foul on that.
Yeah,
misses it. Rebound comes out to Fox for the Vikings of Northeast.
That's maybe where having no crowd hurts, Dan, because you don't have anybody to complain about that call.
Jackson with the basketball, guarded out here by Claire Bradshaw. Drives to the right, cut off by Bradshaw, off to Fox. Fox guarded by Elise Doherty. Off to Underwood. Underwood guarded by Struthers. Feeds it off to Newport. Good defense, patient offense by Northeast, but the good defense really causing them a lot of trouble trying to get the ball to an open shot position. Clafley with the basketball, off to Newport, or Underwood, excuse me. Off to Jackson. Jackson up above the timeline, kind of just left of the top of the key. She dribbles towards the St. Paul Indian logo. Bradshaw pushes her out there, pokes it away, and it's going to stay with Northeast, as that was off of Claire Bradshaw's right hand.
Yeah, we're doing a nice job of making Arma just run their offense, but they're running it out by the timeline, not really getting close to the basket, not really trying to take it to the basket. And they're running some clock off, but they really aren't doing a...
Oh, what a... Yeah, Josie Harris got waylaid as Jackson set a screen. They both ended up on the ground as Josie didn't see the screen coming, and she got waxed.
Yeah, she kind of got the worst end of that one, Dan.
Oh, they buzz it. Nope, now they're going to keep playing. Northeast with the basketballs. 4 subs come to the scores table for the Indian. Jackson with the basketball towards the elbow. And by the way, Josie Harris was whistled for that foul, her first team foul on the Indians. There's another screen by Jackson on Kenna Doherty. Off to Fox. Fox spins into the lane, cut off, double team down there, feeds it off to Newport. Newport right above the timeline. Bradshaw picks her up. 2 Indians sag into the lane as they let their wing players wander around out by the three-point line. Jackson with it, 4:55, almost halfway through this third period, 23-10. Indians up by 13. Underwood off to Claffey. Claffey with the basketball. Josie Harris on her. Left wing to Jackson. Jackson holds the ball over her head, feeds the top of the key to Underwood. Underwood with a ball fake, holds it, now tries to dribble against Struthers. Now to Fox, shot in the side of the lane, no good, gets her own rebound, and she scores.
Yeah.
Coach Tuck not happy with the no block out by the Lady Indians. Struthers with it, tries to split the double team, feeds it off to Elise Doherty. Doherty crosses over, top of the key, right wing over to Kenna Doherty. Timeout, Coach Tuck, 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105.
Hey. Yeah, we just caught it. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you.
Sorry about that on the live stream. When you put a commercial up, you got to remember to take it down.
We charge extra for that, right, on the advertising?
We got a lot of advertising time there for them, but not much basketball watching. I apologize. Welcome back, 23-12, 11-point lead for the Lady Indians. 4:09 left to go here in the third period. We have her back up on the live stream where you can actually watch a basketball game, but our sponsors got a lot of extra commercial time there. Ross, that's your job.
Well, luckily there wasn't a lot of fireworks going on during the game, Dan. So
Vet whips it up top to Albertini, over to Simi. Simi over to the corner to Vet. Vet looks inside, ball fake, dribbles towards the top of the key, reverses it back to Simi. Three-pointer on the way, short, partially blocked. Chambers with a good rebound, put back no good, just missed it. Fox with the rebound for Northeast Arma.
2 good looks for the Lady Indians, but couldn't come away with anything.
Clavely with the basketball, dribbles towards the top of the timeline. Simi tries to cut her off, feeds it off to Jackson. Jackson off down to the corner to Underwood. Bounce pass inside to Jackson. Spin move in the lane. No good, but she's fouled. I think it's going to be on the floor. It is. It's going to be on Chambers. What's that, Ross? Third or fourth?
It's going to be her third.
Third foul on Ava.
Nice job by McKenzie on that. Got the ball in the post, did a nice spin move around her defender.
Another foul on the floor. That's now she just picked up her fourth. Back-to-back fouls by Chambers. I don't know if Coach Tuck realizes that's Ava's fourth foul. 3 team fouls on the Indians, none on Northeast. Another shot. Jackson gets it to go against Chambers. Couldn't give her much pressure. And all of a sudden it's a 9-point lead for the Indians, 23-14.
Yeah, Arma's hanging around, and they're really just a couple of buckets away from really getting right back in this game and making it tight.
Struthers with the basketball, cross-court pass down to the corner to Simi. Simi drives the baseline. She's going to be fouled by number 11, Underwood. St. Paul basketball. First.
They're going to call. They called that on Simi. They called a charge.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I did not see that.
That was a terrible call. Yeah, that was a terrible call. As they call Simi, she got tripped as she was driving the baseline.
Yeah, I mean,
about as far from a
you don't
charge
see many
as you could
charges
ever get
called where the legs bumping into each other.
2:46, good aggressive drive by Simi. You don't want to discourage a young lady from doing that. She did the right thing. She got tripped on the way and got rooked into a charge call somehow. 23-14, 9-point lead for the Indians. On the floor for the Lady Indians, Simi, Doherty, Albertini, Bradshaw, and Struthers. Three-pointer by Jackson, long, no good. Backside rebound by Emerald Struthers. Struthers pushes ahead to Doherty. Doherty to the rim. Shot up, no good, but she's fouled, and she'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Nice aggressive job by Elise Doherty to get to the free throw line.
I seen the opening that come down the floor, and so did Struthers, so she whipped it ahead to Doherty, but she almost hesitated just a little bit too long as it closed up quickly, but she did a good job of getting to the rim and getting fouled. Elise first free throw rattles in and out, no good. Sub into the game, Sigmund for the Vikings of Northeast. She checks in for Newport.
It'd be nice if we could get Elise going in this second half, Dan. There's a lot of nights where Elise is your highest scorer, scoring in double digits, but tonight she hasn't scored. There's her first point right there.
24-14, 10-point lead for the Indians. 2:15 left to go in the third period.
Just the fourth point for the Indians in the third quarter.
Clafley with the basketball, feeds it to Jackson. Jackson gets it poked away by Bradshaw. She held it overhead. Good job by Claire. Good hands. Off to Clafley. She got a little push off there. Didn't get called for. Now down to the corner, number 23. Shot on the way. That is Sigmund. Rebound comes out to the Indians of St. Paul. Albertini all the way in. Kicks it out to Simi. Passes on the 3. Drives in. Kicks it out to Bradshaw. She'll shoot a 3. Well off. No good. And it goes back to the Vikings in Northeast with 1:42 left to go in the third.
Yeah, Indians have only got 4 points. Now, a little bit of that is because Arma has done a very good job of running clock this quarter and not really giving the Indians a lot of offensive possessions.
Screen set by Jackson this time. Good talk by the Lady Indians calling out that screen. Sigmund with the basketball. Feed inside. Good feed inside to Fox, and she scores.
Yeah.
24-16, 8-point lead. Albertini with the basketball. Gets past 2 Vikings. Should have some numbers. Now gets it stolen away from her by Fox. And it's going to be a foul on Simi. 5th team foul on the Lady Indians. Kenna Doherty checks into the game for the Lady Indians for Chloe Simi.
Be Chloe's third.
1:10 left to go here in the third period. 3 fouls on Simi, 4 on Chambers is the 2 that I know about. It's in a little bit of trouble. Jackson has it stripped away by Doherty, but she retrieves it on her own. Now Claire Bradshaw pops it away from Jackson again, knocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, just playing defense right up on him, about 30 feet from the basket. Nice job of poking that loose.
Jackson with the basketball for the Vikings. 8-point ball game. St. Paul just leads by 8. Up by as many as 13 and now down to 8. Jackson gets in the lane, kicks it out. Three-pointer by Clafley. No good. Rebound loose on the ground. Struthers comes out there with it. She's going to be fouled by the Vikings, I believe. Yes, it's going to be on number 11, Underwood.
Just the second team foul here with only 45 seconds left in the quarter against Arma.
Elise Doherty set to put the ball in play. It allows the Vikings to set up their press. Go, go, Emerald. She held up. She could have had numbers if she'd have took off. Elise Doherty wasn't expecting the ball. Claire Bradshaw chases it down as it hits off of her right shoulder. Bradshaw with it, out top to Struthers, over to Elise Doherty, right wing, down to Bradshaw at the wing, feeds it back to Doherty, swatted away and stolen by Clafley for the Vikings of Northeast. Northeast trying to chip away at this lead. 18 seconds left to go here in the third period. Off to Fox. Fox dribbles against Albertini. Count is on. Gets into the lane. Partially blocked. Gets her own rebound. Now she's fouled by Doherty. She's going to go line to shoot two as the Indians let her get into the lane. That's several times here in this period where Fox has penetrated into the lane, and no help comes soon enough. Kenna Doherty has to foul her. 16 foul on the Indians. Fox goes the line to shoot two, and she makes the first. 7-point ball game, 24-17.
Arma's taking a little page out of the St. Paul Indians playbook by driving that ball to the basket when you're not making jump shots. Drive it and get fouled.
Second shot up and in there. 6-point ball game, 24-18. 2 seconds. Shot at the buzzer. Good. Elise Doherty buries a long-range three. That's part of our problem, Ross. We need to step out a little further.
Yeah, we're just taking shots too close to the basket, Dan.
27-18 after 3. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul Basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back, 27-18. The Indians up by 9 points as we get set to start this fourth period, as that three really helped because Northeast had cut that lead to 6, Ross.
Yeah, we came out and we made a three-pointer the very first shot of the second half, or third quarter, and we didn't make any shots the rest of the third quarter till that last one, and it was also a three. And the kind of demoralizing if you got to be Arma. I mean, you really played pretty good basketball that third quarter. Chipped away, got that lead down to 6 points. Maybe going to come into the fourth quarter with pretty close, and then that bomb just kind of takes a little air out of their sails.
Now still by Harris, and she drives down and scores off the right side. Now a little full court pressure by the Indians. Fox with the basketball. She gets past Kenna Doherty. Now the help comes. Elise and Ken on her. Drives the baseline. Oh, she walked. Got away with it. Shoots, misses. Josie Harris with the rebound. Harris has played well the last couple games for the Lady Indians.
Yeah, nice job of letting the game come to her.
Offensively and defensively as well from the foul line. Now there in the corner with it is Harris. Pull up jump shot. Good. Little 13-footer. She drains it, and Indians back up to a 13-point lead, 31-18.
Yeah, she had that layup right out of the gate, and sometimes you get a layup that just gives you confidence, and that's 2 shots in a row she's made now.
Oh, good move by Fox. A good pass, and she misses the little bunny shot. Fox has done a good job of getting open in the lane. She just missed that layup from the left side as somebody left her wide open for the Lady Indians. Now a little jump shot from the foul line from Elise Doherty, short. Rebound comes out to the Vikings of Northeast. Claffey with it, feeds it off to Fox. Fox to number 23, Sigmund. Sigmund drives against Elise Doherty. Going to get the tripping call on, maybe it's going to be on Josie Harris. 17th foul on the Indians, 4th on her. So 4 fouls on Harris, 4 fouls on Chambers. That's going to send Sigmund line to shoot 2. First free throw is good.
Yeah, you hate to see that 4th foul on Josie Harris. She came out of the gate here in the 4th quarter and scored 4 points. Doug's going to leave her in and staying with the hot hand on offense, Dan.
6:41 left to go in the game. 31-19 as Sigmund settles in for her second. It's on its way and good. Timeout Northeast, full timeout. 31-20, 11-point lead for the Indians. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back. 31-20. Lady Indians up by 11 to start this, or out of this timeout by Northeast. 6:41 left to go in the game. Indians up by 11. Harris with the basketball. Full court press applied by Northeast as they come out in that zone press. Now Harris picks up her ball, feeds it to Albertini. She cuts towards the rim, out to Struthers, and she gets her three-pointer blocked, but gets her own rebound, and she's going to be fouled. They're going to call that on the shot or on the floor. It's on the shot. She's going to go line shoot 2. Just the third team foul on Northeast in this second half. That is the 4th foul on number 4, Allison Newport. Struthers misses the first as she settles in for her second. It's on its way and right through there. And good. Sub comes into the game. That's Fox back into the game for Northeast.
Yeah, they couldn't let Fox sit very long, Dan. She's kind of the one that's been putting the ball in the basket for Northeast this second half.
Newport set to put the ball in play for Northeast. Gives it to Jackson. Jackson guarded by Struthers. Struthers cuts her off. Here comes a double team by Albertini. Feeds it back up top to Newport. Newport picked up above the timeline by Albertini. Crosses over, gets it. It's going to be a double dribble as Albertini got her hand in there on it. Thought maybe they'd whistle her for the travel. Good defense by Sophia.
Yeah, not a lot of movement by the Arma offense on that one, and just kind of left number 4 up there to fend for herself, and eventually the defense caught up to her.
Struthers with the basketball, cross-court pass to Albertini, off to Simi. Simi drives in, kicks it out. Three-pointer by Harris. Hennon gets it to go as it rattled home. Second three of the second half by Harris. She continues to lead the way. Good press break by the Northeast. Boy has a walk on Clafley, but she scores. She drugged both feet and let her get away with it. Yeah, 35-22, 13-point lead for the Indians. Albertini in the lane gets it knocked away. She was fouled, no call made. All the way down Sigmund, and that's going to be a charge. Who draws it? Looks like Emerald Struther got set and drew the charge.
Nice job by Emerald just to sit there and wait for her to dribble down the court and she just ran right over and got the call.
35-22, 13-point lead for the Indians. The Indians basketball. Struthers with it. Gets past Sigmund. All the way in, all the way down to the layup, and missed it too strong. Chambers with the rebound, but she's fouled by Jackson on the floor.
Indians playing with a lot of energy right now, Dan. They kind of maybe smell a little blood in the water, and they're really pushing hard to try to put this game out of reach.
5:09 left to go in the game. Subs into the game for the Indians. 13-point lead for the Indians with 5:09 left to play. Back into the game for the Indians, Elise Doherty, Kenna Doherty, Ava Chambers, Clara Bradshaw, and Josie Albertini, or Josie Harris. Josie Albertini. I knew I was going to say that at some point. I've done caught myself twice getting ready to call Sophia Josie. Ava Chambers with the basketball from the block, tries to put up a shot. She's fouled as she battled for that basketball and forced up a shot. She gets fouled.
Nice strong post move by Ava. She's probably the closest person we have to a post player, Dan, so it's nice to see her get it on the block and make a move and try to score down low.
Chambers, free throw on its way, gets to crawl over the front of the rim. It's good. Chambers settles in for her second. No good. And it's going to be out on the Indians and go back to Arma. 36-22, 14-point lead for the Lady Indians with 4:56 left to go in the game. Jackson looking to get it in, feeds it in over the top to Newport. Crossover dribble, shot up, no good. Slapped around and controlled by Jackson for Northeast. Three-pointer by Fox, in and out, no good. It was halfway down, rattles out.
Yeah, that was tough luck for Fox. That thing it looked like he was rolling, gonna rattle in.
A rebound by Claire Bradshaw, down to the corner to Elise Doherty. Off to Harris. Harris to the elbow to Bradshaw, out to Kenna Doherty. She misses Josie Harris on the cut. Cross court pass to Elise Doherty, whips it into Chambers at the left-hand block. Turnaround shot, too strong, no good. Rebound Newport for the Vikings. Newport to her left, hands it off to Fox. Kenna Doherty picks her up above the timeline. Now to Sigmund. Sigmund loses her footing, falls to the ground, but gets it off to number 11, Underwood. Shot up, no good, but she's fouled, and that may be Ava Chambers' fifth foul. And it is. Chambers fouls out of the game. 8th team foul on the Indians, 5th on Chambers.
Nice job by Ava tonight. She had 1 point, but she did a really good job on defense and did a nice job rebounding down low. Had a couple of good offensive rebounds here in the second half.
Settles in at the line, does Underwood. First free throw on its way and good right through there. 36-23, 13-point lead for the Lady Indians. Northeast scratching away at the Indians' lead as Underwood makes them both down to a 12-point lead. Harris with the basketball against the double team and gets it off to Bradshaw, back to Harris, down the sideline to Struthers. And Struthers fires up a three, in and out, no good. Tapped around, controlled by Elise Doherty. Left-hand shot, no good. Josie Harris, offensive rebound, puts it back up in, and it's good.
6 points for Josie this quarter, Dan.
14-point lead for the Lady Indians. Fox with the basketball against Elise Doherty. Off to Jackson. Jackson loses it, out of bounds, back to the Lady Indians. St. Paul's basketball as Northeast retreats back into their 1-3-1 defense. 3:20 left to go in the game. Elise Doherty down to the corner to Claire Bradshaw, drives the baseline, gets cut off, feeds it back up to Struthers. Cross-court pass over to Harris. Up top to Doherty, over to Struthers. Pops another three from the right wing. Good. Emerald Struthers buries a three. 17-point lead for the Indians, 41-24.
Indians shooting really good this fourth quarter, Dan. They are 5 for 10, or 5 for 11.
Jackson with the basketball. Up top to number 4, Newport. Flips it off to the right wing, Clafley. Off to Newport. Newport drives towards the baseline, cut off by Doherty. Gets it stolen away by Josie Harris. Harris down to the left-hand layup, strong, no good. Rebound, Elise Doherty put back is good. I believe that was Doherty, wasn't it? full timeout. Northeast,
That's
2:23 left to go in the game.
That's what I put in the book, Dan.
1 minute timeout. We'll be back at this 1 minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back. 2:23 left to go in the game. 43-24 lead. Indians out to a 19-point lead against the Vikings of Northeast. Fox with the basketball, picked up out above the timeline by Elise Doherty. Drives into the lane. Here comes the help. Good defense. Off to Jackson. She drives in the lane. Shot up. No good. Knocked out. Ooh, Jackson hits the wall hard. Out on her. Is she okay? Because she did.
Yeah.
Hit that padding, and she dove for the basketball.
Yeah, nice.
On the floor
Playing
now.
hard. You know, you're down 19 points with 2 minutes left, and she is still playing super hard. And she was just diving out of bounds for that rebound, Dan, and it looked like her shoulder hit square onto that pad.
Her right shoulder, she really went into it hard. As Jackson, good ball player for Northeast. 2:03 left to go in the game. A little stoppage here as she tries to get her wind back, and I think she's going to be okay, but needs to catch her breath as she really went into that padding hard. Thank goodness there's padding there, Ross.
Yeah, I guess whoever put that there knew what they were doing.
43-24, 19-point lead for the Lady Indians. 2:03 left to go in the game. Ross, we haven't had a chance to talk about it yet, but next week we go into the midseason tournament. A little different change of venue, or for the last, as long as I can remember, we went to the Southeast midseason tournament. And now this year the Indians are going to the Yates Center tournament, although it's going to be held in 3 different venues. Opening night, the Indian girls and boys, it'll be regular time, 6 and 7:30, all 3 nights, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tuesday night, the Indians play Iola at Northeast, and then Thursday night play at Humboldt and play Humboldt, and Friday night play Marmot Valley at Iola. So a busy week next week for the midseason tournament, and they moved that into 3 different venues to kind of split people up. 3-pointer by Harris, off the iron, no good. Rebound to Fox.
Yeah, it's going to be like you said, a change of scenery for us going to Yates Center instead of Southeast, but looking forward to the tournament, and yeah, I think it'll be a nice competitive tournament for the girls. A lot of solid teams there for us to play.
Yeah, there's 6 teams, but they've just split it into 2-3 round robin plays, so that's it. I mean, Indians will just play Iola, Humboldt, and Marmaton Valley.
Yeah, you're playing a pretty good size 2A in Humboldt, and I think Iola's 3A, so you're stepping up in weight class a little bit too.
Harris with another 3, and she buries it from the baseline on the right side as she's feeling it from the outside. 2 threes in a row, and she gets 1 of the 2.
That's 9 points for her in the 4th quarter alone.
Shot in and out, no good. Claire Bradshaw is hammered on the rebound by number 13.
A little bit of a frustration foul. Arma, you know, this 4th quarter, Dan, they've had a lot of shots that have gone halfway down and rolled right back out. They're just having tough luck, and believe me, we know what that feels like.
1:15 left to go in the game. 46-24, biggest lead of the night for the Lady Indians as Claire Bradshaw goes to the line to shoot the front end of 1-on-1. She was fouled on the rebound. 17 foul on Northeast. First right into the bonus, no good. Offensive rebound is stripped away. It's going to be on Sophia Albertini. Albertini had a first, and somebody from Northeast, we'll see who the shooter is. Oh, it's going to be number 13, got her hand in there. Chase, Erica Chase, goes to the line to shoot the front end 1-on-1. 9th team foul on the Indians, so still 1-and-1. Second on Sophia. as she settles at the line to shoot the front end 1-1. 5 sophomores on the floor for the Lady Indians. Kenna Doherty, Sophia Albertini, Josie Harris, Jenny Vitt, and Chloe Simi.
Erica Chase's first bet points of the evening.
She settles in for the bonus. On its way off the iron, no good, but she went across the line. 1:13 left to go in the game. 46-25, 21-point lead for the Indians of St. Paul. Josie Harris with the basketball. She holds it out by the timeline.
She could probably shoot it from there, Dan, as hot as she is this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's about where at least Doherty hit that shot at the buzzer.
Yeah.
At the end of the second period. Chloe Simi drives the baseline. She's fouled on the floor, so she's going to go line to shoot the front end of a 1-on-1. 8th team foul on Northeast.
I think they called that a charge last time she did that, Dan.
Yeah, they did. I thought you was going to tell me they called it a charge again. I was going to say, wait a minute. 4th foul on number 11, Underwood. First front end of the 1-on-1 is good. The Indians still pretty decent night from the foul line again here tonight, Ross.
Yeah, you know, and when the
as a team,
when the baskets aren't maybe falling from the outside, it's nice that you can get to the free throw line and make them. She
makes them both. Just under a minute left to go. 48-25, 23-point lead for the Indians. Indians was pretty sluggish at the start of this, at the end of the third and start of the fourth, but really have kind of pulled it out here in this fourth period.
Yeah, you know, as much as we've talked about struggling to score, Dan, we're darn near about ready to score 50 points on the ice, which is a pretty solid offensive
boy, it looked like she stepped out of bounds. Good drive by Sigmund. Rebound, Kenna Doherty, the Indians. She feeds it ahead to Albertini, down to the corner to Harris. 23 seconds left to go. 20 seconds left to go. 48-25, 23-point lead for the Indians. Kenna Doherty with the basketball from right wing, gets it poked out of bounds with 8 seconds left to go in the game. So it's going to be a couple nice wins in a row against Columbus and Northeast for the Indians. They try to ride this momentum into the into the 8 center tournament with looks to be tough competition with Marmaton Valley, Humboldt, and Iola. And with that victory, I think a very exciting time for Coach Tuck, as I've been told, Ross, that is his 600th victory as a Lady Indians basketball coach.
That's a lot of victories, Dan. I tell you what, 600, how many years, I wonder, has his career lasted?
I believe, and we're going to ask him here in a little bit. He's going to come up, Ross. I believe this is his 31st season, I believe, as Indians basketball coach. It's either 31st or 32nd. As we will welcome in Coach Tuck. We're going to take a little short timeout. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. Here, listen to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back. 48-25. Lady Indians with a 23-point victory over Northeast of Arma. It was a struggle most of the way, but the Lady Indians playing good defense and better down the stretch and shooting a lot better in that fourth period. Got them out to a 23-point victory over Northeast Arma. So Lady Indians follow up that nice victory versus Columbus to win the Mark Turlett preseason tournament Tuesday night and followed up with a nice victory here against Northeast, Ross.
Yeah, it was nice to see the Lady Indians start to shoot the ball well in that fourth quarter, and hopefully that carries over to the next game. You know, we talked a little bit at halftime. Elise Doherty, she hadn't scored the first half, and she's usually night in, night out one of her bigger scores. She came out and put in 9 points in that second half. Josie Harris got hot in that second half, and it seems like when one or two start getting hot, the rest of them get hot. And you know, we shot 41% in the second half, and like we talked, if we could shoot about 40%, we're a pretty tough team to beat.
Right there at that number we needed to be that Ross talked about there at halftime. Ross, if you have the scoring, can you go ahead and run down it?
Yeah, you know, the hot hand tonight was definitely Josie Harris. She had 9 points in the fourth quarter alone, ended up with 19 on the night. Very good night for her. Elise Doherty really came on strong that second quarter, or second half, ended up with 9 points. Emerald Struthers had 8 points. Chloe Simi had 3 points. Claire Bradshaw, the junior, had 5 points. Sophia Albertini had 3 points, and Ava Chambers had a free throw as well. For the Northeast, Mackenzie Jackson ended with their high scorer with 7, and then they had 2 girls, Fox and Underwood, who had 5 each.
Pretty well-balanced scoring across the board for the Lady Indians, Ross, and their defense really led their offense, especially down the stretch in that third quarter and that fourth period, where I thought they played well defensively all night long. And
yeah, you know, you look at the stats, and we had 7 shots in that third quarter, you know, and struggled a little bit at time to find a rhythm. Fourth quarter, we had 15 shots. So we had twice as many shots in the fourth quarter as we did in the third quarter. And that tells you, A, we were actually getting some offensive rebounds because we were getting some second chance shots. And then our defense was obviously getting us, you know, a lot of more transition baskets, which helped our confidence, I think.
We're going to have Coach Tuck on here after this short break. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. You listen to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105.
You want me to give you my headset?
Well, welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse here in St. Paul, Kansas, where the Lady Indians come out with a nice victory over the Vikings of Northeast, 48-25. I want to welcome in Coach Tuck. Congratulations, Coach Tuck.
Thank you.
Nice victory here tonight. You followed it up by a preseason tournament win versus the Columbus girls the other night, and it's good to have 2 wins in a row coming out of Christmas break.
Yeah, you know, we fight real hard for those wins, and sometimes not always in a good way. But, you know, that's what happens when you have a young team. You know, I always like to say experience is great, but it's painful to get. And sometimes you just have to go through the process, and you have to go through the pain of getting that experience. And, you know, we've had some of that before Christmas. We've had a really good quality competition so far this year. And you know, our young team has, I think, learned a lot from it, and you know, hopefully we can kind of continue. Like I told him in the locker room, I really felt like tonight I'm leaving with a feeling where I thought we got a little bit better today. And you know, that's what you want to do, is a stack each day like that, where you just feel like you're improving and getting better. So hopefully we can continue to do that.
Yeah, and against Columbus, a really sluggish game offensively is about the only way to put it, but it just seems like your defense, the girls have really come around. That man-to-man defense is really what, you know, the good fundamental defense really helps a sluggish offense at times.
Yeah, and we're really sluggish at times, and you know, that's what we've always been good at, is defense, and you know, we've had some years where we've had to really just rely on our defense to make things happen, and then, you know, those really special years are the ones where you get the offense and defense going together. But we take pride in defense, and we got girls that have skills and that can shoot. It's just defense is you're usually a little faster with a young team. Offense just takes a little bit longer to get that confidence and that belief in yourself. So they're a good group of kids. They try hard, so it's kind of fun to work with them, though. They do cause me to lose a few of my strands of hair that I have left. But,
that's just a good veteran coach with a young team. Now, one thing that the girls I thought have done exceptionally well this year is shoot free throws. That's one thing that it seems like we have done a good job, and that's nice that you can be aggressive and get to the foul line and then make it pay when you do get to the foul line.
Yeah, we've been consistent all year, and that was one of the things we really worked on this summer. This summer we weren't able to go to any tournaments and stuff, but we were able to practice. And so one thing that we did focus on a lot in those practices was shooting free throws, and we had some competitions and things like that. And I think the girls really bought into that. And so hopefully, being good free throw shooters, that'll eventually paying off into being good shooters. And you saw that tonight. Emerald Struthers knocked down some threes. Josie Harris knocked down some threes. And so we've got several others that are capable of doing it. And so hopefully those free throws will build that confidence up.
Well, a very proud night here for you and your family and for all the St. Paul Indian fans out there. Your 600th win as a coach. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I give my daughters crap because I said they were part of my 135 losses too. So, those are the ones I remember. But no, it's, I've been fortunate. We've had a lot of good girls here, and they've all really bought in, and the dedication. You can't overlook that, and it does feel like there's a tradition, there's a legacy, there's kind of a family feel with that. It's like it's handed down from one group to the next, and so it's fun when you're involved with something like that. It's a lot of hard work because you're going to have a lot of teams that are going to come after you, and because of your past success. But it's been a good experience, and so hopefully we can keep it going.
So correct me if I'm wrong, 1989 was your first season here?
1989-90, yes.
Was your first girls?
I came and coached in that old gym for a long time,
Yeah.
and Mark Turlett was my mentor.
That was going to be my next question. You may not realize this, but between you and Coach Turlett in St. Paul history, have 987 wins. And I bet you got some good stories to go along with it.
We have lots of good stories, and he was my assistant in football.
Yeah.
For quite a while when I got here. So I was lucky to have a good coach like him. I mean, he's one of the best in-game coaches that I've seen, and real fortunate. I don't know if he appreciated it, but a lot of times when we had the one gym, we'd practice early and late, and if I had late practice, I'd come in early just to watch how he handled practice and things like that, and he allowed me to do that. And I could be able to learn things that I liked and things I didn't, and start applying my coaching philosophy. And so very fortunate, to start with him and build from there. And we had a lot of good coaches around there. Larry Sanders down in Oswego and places like that. So you learn from those coaches too.
Yeah, I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you who the best player you ever had, because you've had a lot of good athletes along the way. I mean, I could start and with a small school, a lot of family names through traditions. We all know who they are, but also, Coach, you've had a lot of assistant coaches over the year. I know Coach Burke's had a lot to do with a lot of them wins. You have a new assistant with Coach Augustine. I don't know who was previous to Adam. I can't remember. It strains my memory too much who your assistant coach has been over the years.
Yeah, I've brought, Brian Carlson's been a big part of our success. He did a great job for me, and I can, especially back at the turn of the century when we had 2 undefeated regular seasons there and finished 4th in state, and and then I had some Sandy Erickson back in the 90s.
That's right.
And
that is
so
right.
forth.
Now you're bringing back my memory.
Yeah. So it goes back, and and have had some years where I've had 8, 9 girls, and other years where I've had 20. So we've had those numbers there and like that. So it's been fun, and I really, we've had a lot of really good players. So I couldn't say who was better than the other. I did appreciate being able to coach my 3 daughters. I don't know how much they always appreciated it, but I appreciated those experiences with them and the time that we were together. And a lot of times, especially your daughters get into those teenage years, they don't want much to do with dad as much. But that was something we had a connection, and we can still share a bond today. And so yeah, a lot of great experiences, and it just means you've been here a long time.
I was going to bring up your daughters, and you getting to coach them over the years. It had to be nice to know. But as what I remember, what some of my memories is coming into Biddy basketball practice, and it wasn't just the practice time, but through the years, starting with Jessica, you'd be on the side of the court, she'd be on the side of the court, you would be coaching. So not only did you get the privilege of coaching them, but also being a parent and teaching them along the way. So
yeah, just. But I think when you coach and you're at one place for a long time, you kind of almost feel like all of them are your kids at some point. And so, I always try to, do that and coach them the way I'd coach my daughters. If you're going to be somewhere for a long time, you got to have a community that is willing to let you coach and coach with your style and let you push the girls and demand time of them. We sometimes we have some long practices, or we want time commitments in the summer, and sometimes that's money and parents driving kids to tournaments and doing things like that. So if you don't have that kind of commitment, then it's going to be a struggle to build anything. So it is kind of everybody plays a part and a role in it.
Yeah. Well, a very proud community. I'm very proud of you, Coach. Not only a good coach, but you're a great teacher in the classroom. I've always appreciated how you challenge the kids in the classroom and on the court. So it's great. What's the next goal? 800?
Well, it is.
You're gonna. You should. I expect you to say 601.
Well, yeah. It's we have 3 games next week, so I'm just trying to get through one more week, and hopefully like I said, it'll be a positive week. But again, I'm always one of those. Hopefully, at the end of the week, whether we're 0-3 or 3-0, did we learn? Did we get better? And is this something that's going to help us down the line? So hopefully that's what we'll get.
It's going to be a busy schedule down the stretch, and the best of luck to you, Coach.
Okay, thank you guys, appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you very much. We're going to take a short break here, and we're going to get underway in the boys game here in just a little bit. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Well, welcome back to Billy Figure Fieldhouse here in St. Paul as we get set for boys action. As I'm going to take this commercial down on the live stream before I forget again. And we are back getting ready to start for tip-off. It's going to be Northeast basketball as we start on the floor for the Indians. Watrick, Trey Peters, Landon Beechner, Austin O'Hara, and Ivan Murillo. On the floor for the Vikings, Clafley, number 10, number 12, Dugan, number 21, Richard, as I'll get the rest of the starters here in just a minute, number 2, Aldman, and it's going to be a turnover on Northeast to start the game. The last starter is number 20, Troth. Indians basketball, Trey Peters, low full court pressure applied by Northeast. Watrick with it, feeds it down to Beechner. Beechner, right wing, up top, swings it around to Trey Peters. Off to Murillo. Murillo, top of the key, swings it over to Peters. Had a good shoot night the other night. Fires up a 3, in and out, no good. Rebound comes out to Troth. Northeast basketball down to the wing. Number 2, that is Aldman. Drives in, kicks it out, 3 on the way, and it's good as Northeast takes 3-0 lead off the shot from Dugan. Watrick gets it swatted out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Indians off that pressure. Northeast leads 3-0, 7:07 left to go here in the first period, just underway. Good interview with Coach Tuck, Ross.
And we need to have another tournament so we can name it after him.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that retirement doesn't come too soon, so we'll see. Trey Peters with the basketball, drives to his left, now back up top to the right. Yeah, we're going to have to start hosting our own mid-season tournament or something.
I don't know. Can Turlip share the name, Turlip Tuck Classic?
Landon Beechner with a good drive to the basket, scores, and it's 3-2. Vikings up by 1. Aldman with the basketball. I don't think you heard this, Ross, but Coach Tuck and Coach Turlip amassed 887 wins, or 987 wins over their 2 careers. Coach Tuck's still going.
It's hard to, even wrap your mind around that number of wins for that long, that much success over that long a period of time.
31 years and 135 losses. That's the part that really gets me. Austin O'Hara with offense rebound. Landon Beechner with a 3. Good. He ties the score at 5 as Beechner with all 5 of the Indians' points, and we're knotted up at 5.
Yeah, it's amazing how good shooting sure gives you a little more energy on the defensive end.
Indians come out in a 2-3 zone to start this ball game. Left wing to number 10, that is Clafley. Now drive to the basket, shot up, no good, but he's fouled on the floor. First team foul by either team. That's going to be on Austin O'Hara, his first. Team foul number 1. Troth with the basketball. I didn't get a chance to ask Coach Tuck how many sub-state trips and state trips he has made. I don't know off the top of my head. It's been several.
Well,
go ahead, Ross.
No, I'd say we haven't lost a league game in 6-7 years now, Dan. I mean, it's a heck of a streak.
Yeah. Shot three-pointer on the way. Good. Number 12, that's his second. Dugan, they're going to have to keep a hand in his face. He's 2 for 2 outside the arc.
Yeah, so far it's Dugan versus Beechner, the way this game's playing out.
Watrick with the basketball against Dugan. Good pass inside to O'Hara. He misses it, gets his own rebound. Putback is good. Timeout, Coach Watrick, 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul Basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back. 4:57 left to go into first. 8-7 Northeast up by 1.
Yeah, Kaiser Weitrick with a nice dribble penetration and dished it off to Austin O'Hara, who missed the first shot, but he was so wide open he was able to get his own rebound and put it right back in.
Right wing off to number 10. That is Clafley. Cross court pass number 23 on the way. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound to Peters. Northeast up by 1, 8-7, St. Paul basketball. Murillo, three-pointer by left wing by him, short, partially blocked. That's going to be another foul. Who's that going to be on? Is that going to be on O'Hara?
That is his second.
It is on Austin. Team foul number 2, second on Austin. 4:34 left to go in the first. Northeast up by 1. Dugan with the basketball for the Vikings. Feeds it off to Clafley. Clafley back to Dugan, open again for a 3. Passed on, looked like he traveled, got away with it. Shot, little 13-footer, no good. Watrick with the rebound. Just one man back for Northeast, all the way down. Watrick, good man. Number 10 just kind of retreated. Clafley clear too deep under the basket. Lets Watrick give the Indians a 9-8 lead. Good steal by Watrick. And that's going to be out on North, or is that going to be a foul?
Foul.
It is going to be a foul on number 10, Clafley.
Yeah, that was interesting defense on Kaiser with that breakaway. Looked like the Army player had position right there in front of the basket. He just actually stepped back and let Kaiser just go right in and lay it up over the rim.
All right, St. Paul basketball, as we get things straight, they lead 9-8, 4:05 left to go here in the first period. Yeah, the stat that really sticks out with me with Coach 600 win is we were just barely into the 31st season. So if you know, obviously the easy rounding is down to 30 seasons. That's 20 wins a year, Ross, on average. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just amazing the level of consistency that the Lady Indians have had under Coach Tuck. You know, because like you said, you're averaging 20 wins a season. You are not having a bad season at that pace.
Beechner with a three from the right wing, off short, no good. Rebound comes to Northeast. Clafley with the basketball for the Vikings of Northeast. Indians lead by 1, and now a turnover on Northeast gives it back to the Indians of St. Paul. Now, Columbus boys pretty good. I thought, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think the Indian boys played too bad the other night. Yeah, they got beat pretty convincingly, but the effort was there, so we'll see if that carries over. Trey Peters with a nice shooting night the other night from outside. So if you get him and Landon going from the outside, get a little inside game going, the Indian boys are going to be all right.
Yeah, we're just a young team, Dan, and you know, when we start playing 3A schools and 4A schools, that's just really tough for us with our youth. And you know, tonight we're a little bit more back in our weight class, to steal a boxing analogy, and we got good results.
Good drive to the rim by Peters, gives the Indians 11-8 lead. Now a drive to the rim by Northeast, and he scores. That's number 25, Moyer. Boy, it looked like either Beechner or I'm not sure the other one was back. Could have set their feet and drew a charge, but now Peyton Norris under the rim scores. 13-10, 2:33 left to go here at the first. Clafley with the basketball for the Vikings. Pass inside, not very good defense by the Indians. Pass inside to Richard, and Richard's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, a couple of nice passes by Kaiser Weitrick, finding guys under the basket. When you're shooting underneath the basket with no one on you, it sure helps your shooting percentage. Richard
at the line to shoot 2. Score remains 13-10 at the moment. And he makes the first free throw. First foul on Peyton Norris. Third team foul on the Indians. Richard settles into line for the second. It's on its way and right through there. It's a 1-point game, 13-12. Full court pressure, a little trap coming by Northeast. Peters with the basketball, feeds it off to Watrick. Watrick needs a little help. Down the court to Beechner, about lost it. Skies for it, pulls it down one-handed. Good pass inside to Norris. He misses it long, too hard, too strong on the shot. And it's Northeast basketball. Can't see who's got it up top to number 2 now. Clafley with it. Cross-court pass almost stole. 3 on the way, short. Clafley with the rebound, drive to the rim, no good, but he's fouled. Peyton Norris just picked up his second foul. Back-to-back fouls by Norris, and that's going to send Northeast to the line, Clafley to the line. Indian boys need to learn to take a charge and get set up instead of, or no, that's not on Norris, it's on Ivan Murillo, his first. Fourth team foul on the Indians as Clafley ties the score at 13 and at the line with a chance to give Northeast a 1-point lead. Long, no good. Ball is off of number 21's head, out of bounds. Richard goes back to the Indians of St. Paul. Richard outpositioned the Indians for the rebound. Trey Peters with the basketball against Clafley. Feeds it down to Murillo. Murillo backs off on the 3. Now Peters with the 3. Can't get it to go. Norris with the rebound. Put back, no good. Peyton needs to go ahead and he was kind of out of balance. He needs to go ahead and set his feet and get balanced.
Yeah, he just rushed that a little bit. I think he had time to get everything gathered and go up strong.
Aldman with the basketball. Peters almost with the steal. Feeds it off to Richard. Pass down inside, stolen by Beechner. Landon comes out there with it. Dribbles down the right side. Slows down, feeds it up to Watrick. Coach Watrick hollers out 3 game. Trey Peters with the basketball to the free throw line. And that's going to be an illegal screen on Peyton Norris. That is his second. Can ill afford to let too many get into foul trouble.
You know, this is one of the few games, Dan, probably this season, it looks like we have a height advantage almost across the board against not a huge height advantage, but it looks like we're the taller team out here tonight. Hopefully that'll translate into better rebounding on the offensive and defensive end.
Tied up at 13, under a minute left to go in the first. Northeast basketball. Clafley with the basketball. Up top, that was a travel. He did travel. That was Dugan on the travel. It'll go back to the Indians of St. Paul.
Yeah, Dugan, he's the leading scorer for Arma so far in the first quarter, and he had an open lane to the basket, but he just got going a little too fast.
Watrick with the basketball, 44 seconds left to go in the first, tied at 13. Indians need to get a score here to finish off this first period. Pass inside through the fingertips of Norse, goes back to Northeast. Clafley with the basketball for the Vikings. Now off to number 25. He lost to Moyer, but nobody close enough to get it from him. Indian State in the zone. Back up top, 18 seconds left to go. Or the Indians playing a matchup, and they're all playing man-to-man now. Watrick pokes it away, chased down by Troth. Drive to the basket and fouled as it's going to be on the floor, out of bounds under the basket for Northeast as Dugan drew the foul.
So Ivan Murillo's second foul of the first quarter.
Everybody needs to match up here with 7.5 seconds left to go in the first. Clafley with it. Back up top. Shot floater on the way off the backboard is good by Moyer. And it gives the Vikings a 2-point lead after the first period. Vikings 15, Indians 13. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're the St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse here in St. Paul. St. Paul will start with the basketball to start the second period. They trail Northeast by 2, 15-13. Peters with the basketball to the left of the arc, feeds it to Murillo, top of the key to O'Hara. O'Hara up top to Beechner. Beechner drives in the lane, shot up, no good. Murillo fights for it. It's going to be out on Landon Beechner. It's going to go to Northeast as he tries to get back inbounds to save it. Beechner at the good look, just couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, nice drive. He had the ball at the top of the key and took 2 quick dribbles into the lane and had a nice layup, but just couldn't get it to fall.
3 sophomores and 2 juniors on the floor. Peters with the steal, and now a steal by Clafley. And it's going to go back to the Indians of St. Paul. Good hustle by Trey Peters.
Yeah, the Indians have good energy tonight, Dan. A nice start, 13 points in the first quarter. You know, they're playing hard, and you know, tonight might be the night they get their win.
The bad part is 16 fouls against the Indians, just 2 against Northeast. 3 on the way by Peters, short, no good. Gets his own rebound, good pass back into O'Hare. Put back, no good, gets his own rebound, gets it to go, and he's fouled. Good offensive boards by Austin O'Hara off the Peters miss. Back-to-back offensive rebounds, and he'll go to the line for the and one.
Yeah, that's just, you know, playing with a lot of effort right down there when you're on the block and you're getting 2 offensive rebounds in a row. That means you're just really getting after it.
Just 2 seniors on the squad for the Indian boys, Ivan Murillo and Wilson Smith. As O'Hara gets the free throw and the Indians back up by 1. Little forecourt pressure by the Indians. Back to Dugan all the way to the rim. Layup, no, rolls off, no good. Peters with the rebound. Peters kind of slows things up. Didn't have the numbers. Peters now drives into the lane, gets it stripped away from the backside. Now Beechner with the steal. Beechner about gets it stolen back away from him. Now he slows things up. dribbles on the left wing, feeds it down to Trey Peters. Peters dribbles to his right. Reverses it back over to Beechner. Beechner at the long three from the left wing. Off, no good. Off of two Indians and right to Northeast. All the way down is Northeast. The layup is good by number 25, Moyer.
Yeah, nice little kind of up and under move. He had the layup, but he put on the brakes, and everyone went flying by him, and then he just laid it in.
Bad pass by the Indians, stolen away by Northeast. Tries to feed it back to Dugan, and it ends up in Northeast. Clafley with the three. Off, no good. Beechner at the rebound. 6:20 left to go in the second. Indians trail by one, 17-16.
Probably a smart move by Landon, just kind of slowing things down and letting everybody catch their breath.
Man-to-man defense by Northeast. Watrick holds the ball on the outside, feeds it off to Murillo. Off to Beechner. Beechner at the ball fake, drives in to baseline. Floater on the way, no good, but they're going to whistle it on a foul on the floor. And that's going to be the fourth team foul on the Vikings.
It's good to see Landon still be aggressive going to the basket. Landon's got a very quick first step, and you know, if you can drive the ball to the basket, you know, you draw fouls or you dish it off. A lot of good things happen in that situation.
Beechner at left wing, feeds it to Peters. Indians trail 17-16. Ivan Murillo to the rim. Little floater, short, gets his own rebound. Put back good. Good job by Murillo as Peyton Norris back to scores table with two fouls. Clafley, cross-court pass. He's going to get called for the travel and turns it back over to the Indians.
Ivan coming out for a breather, just got the basket. First basket of the night for him. Done a nice job tonight.
Kaiser Watrick feeds it into Beechner, to the center, to O'Hara. O'Hara feeds it ahead to Peters. Peters dribbles back out as the defense gets set for Northeast as they reset for the half-court offense. Beechner feeds it off to Peters. Indians up by one, 18-17, 5:19 left to go here in the second. O'Hara gets it poked away, but he gets it back, feeds it off to Beechner in Norris. Norris turnaround shot, but he's fouled on the floor, on the arm. It'll be under the basket because it's on the floor. Indians basketball under their own basket. Fifth team foul on Northeast. You don't want Norris to pick up a third foul here in this second period. He needs to be careful. Good offensive set here. Beechner with the basketball off the inbounds. Looked in at Norris. Resets. Norris definitely have a height advantage, Ross, like you said, on the block if he can get set up in there.
Yeah.
Three-pointer by O'Hara, not a good shot by Austin. Gunning one up from the outside. Not really a true guard is Austin. And the Indians cling to a 1-point lead with 4:45 left to go in the third. Want to look for a little higher percentage shot than that.
Shoot or shoot, Dan.
Clafley.
Oh, nice.
Who's that going to be on this? They're going to call that on Landon Beechner away from the basketball on the rebound. And it's going to stay with Northeast.
That's tough luck because that was an air ball and it went right to us. I don't think we needed a hold to get that rebound on that one.
Seventh team foul, so that's going to be the 1-and-1. That sends number 20 to the line, Troth, to shoot the front end 1-and-1. It's on its way, short, and the rebound comes out to Trey Peters. Feeds it ahead to Beechner, needs to look out, splits the defenders, up under the basket, tries to get it up, and you're going to call it a kick. It's going to be off of Beechner as he lost it, couldn't get the handle on it. 4:27 left to go here in the second period. Indians up by 1. Clafley with the basketball, guarded by Peters. Clafley still dribbles against Peters, looks for Dugan. Count is on. Now he spins to the right, down towards the baseline. Cut off there by the Indian help defense. Off to Dugan. Dugan drives the baseline all the way in. Layup is, they're going to call on the floor.
You know, if I'm
I think that's the third foul on Austin O'Hara.
Yeah, that's not good. If I'm Arnold, I think I try to get number 12 a touch every time down the court. Dugan, he's pretty good with the ball. Does a nice job shooting inside out. And I think when you need a basket, he's the kind of guy you need, or he's the guy for Arma to get it.
4:05 left to go in the first half. 18-17, St. Paul up by 1. Dugan misses a free throw. Norris pulls it down. Got a little bit lucky there as Arma had position. Trey Peters with the basketball, drives towards the baseline. Now gets it poked away. Ball's loose on the floor. and it's going to be a jump ball, possession arrow back to Northeast. Clafley set to put the ball in play for the Vikings of Northeast. A little token full court pressure by the Indians. Troth with it. Like to see Watcher get up on him, put a little pressure, see if it can cause a turnover. Troth, cross court pass over number 25, Moyer. Moyer to Clafley at the left of baseline, back to Troth. And almost Norris knocks it out of bounds, but they was shooting for Dugan down under the basket, but luckily Peyton got his hand on it.
Got long arms and tipped that one out of there.
Northeast basketball under their own rim. Dugan set to put the ball in play for the Vikings of Northeast. They're going to come back to him, and they do. And he's going to walk with the basketball, does Dugan, as the inbounds play. They reversed it all the way back around to the inbounder, looking for him to get an open shot. He travels with the basketball. Peters with the basketball. Feeds it into Wattrick. Wattrick feeds it ahead to Beecher. Got some numbers, but he slows down. And boy, had 3-on-1 opportunity. Landon didn't see it. Trey Peters with the basketball feeds it back up to Wattrick. Wattrick patiently sets the offense. A lot of dribbling, not much passing here. Peters with the basketball. Feeds it off to Murillo. There's the cutter through the lane. Murillo dribbles back to the top of the key. Indians up by 1, 18-17. Murillo feeds off to Peters. Peters to his right towards the elbow. Feeds it to Wattrick at right wing. Wattrick picks up his dribble back to Beechner. Beechner feeds it inside to Peters. Shot up, tough shot. Rolls across. Peyton Norris with the rebound. Oh, they're called jump ball.
Wow.
As Peyton had it over his head. That's a bad call, but it's going to be Indian basketball under their own rim. 2:44 left to go.
Yeah, both players went up for the ball, and they both had their hands on it, Dan, but I really don't think they had possession of it long enough to warrant a jump ball in that situation. I think as the ref, you kind of let them fight that out and see who ends up with the ball.
Peters with the basketball, feeds it out to Watering. A bad pass on the inbounds, and Peyton Norris comes out there with it, feeds it to Murillo. Murillo, the ball fake, drives in, little jump shot on the way, good. Gives the Indians 20-17 lead, 2:32 left. Clafley hard back down with the basketball. Cut off down to baseline. Double team, still by Peters and Wattrick. Now it's going to be a foul on the floor, thank goodness, because Peters was about to lose it. That's going to be on Clafley. How many is that on him? 16 foul on the Vikings, third on one of the main ball handlers for Northeast, Claffey. Wattrick with the basketball, feeds it to Beechner. About time for Beechner to pull the trigger on one here. Drives the baseline into a little traffic. Ball fake, picks up his dribble, up top to Peters, over to Murillo. Murillo drives in again, gets it poked away, loses it on the ground, and it's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to go back to Northeast. Ivan tried that same drive in from that same spot, got it poked away, lost it on the floor. The tie-up goes back to Northeast, 2:07 left to go here in the first half. Indians up by 3. Moyer with the basketball all the way in, shot up, and good. He went right past every Indian.
Yeah,
at about 5'3" timeout. Coach Wattrick can't be happy about that. Full timeout, so we'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back. 1:55 left to go in the first half. Indians up by 1, 20-19 out of the timeout by Coach Wattrick. full court pressure applied by Northeast. Peters with the basketball. Cross court pass back to Watrick. Watrick down to Norris. Norris travels with the basketball as he got his feet tangled up as the Indians had a chance as they was breaking the press, but Norris turns it back over to Northeast.
Yeah, they had numbers on the press break. It looked like maybe they were going to end up with a good layup out of it, and he got his body twisted around. He was trying to pivot around to make the pass and got his feet tangled up and traveled.
Troth with it, right wing over to Aldman. Aldman with the ball fake to Clafley. Back out to Troth, three-pointer on the way, off, no good. And it's out on Norris and stays with Northeast. 1:27 left to go here in the second period. 2019 Indians with a 1-point lead.
Be nice to see the Indians finish this second quarter strong going into half.
Need a steal here. Troth with the basketball, crossport. Oh, Peters almost swiped it out of the air. Three-pointer by Dugan. Off the back iron, no good. Coach Watrick not happy with letting, now Dugan with the offensive rebound scores and gives Northeast a 1-point lead. 1:09 left to go in the first half. Murillo tries to feed it ahead and a steal by Northeast. So the Indians giving up that 3-point lead here down the stretch. It's been all Northeast the last minute and a half. Troth with the basketball, 52-51 seconds, 21-20. Northeast up by 1. Moyer passed on to 3, thought about it, let it go. Now Dugan with it. Back up to Troth. Troth to Aldman. 35 seconds. Northeast going to be happy here just to look for a good shot or maybe take the last shot. Moyer with it. Bounce pass inside the Dugan. Shot up and good as he got position on Norris. Norris with the height advantage, but Norris let him get him pinned down on the baseline. And now it's a 3-point lead. Murillo tries to answer with a 3. Off the back iron, no good. Landon Beecher with the rebound. Drives back in. Layup good. Good drive by Beecher. Moyer with it. Pushes him down the sideline, does Peters. All the way in, up and under, and they're going to whistle a foul. With 2.7 seconds left to go, and it's going to send Moyer to the line to shoot front end 1-1.
Yeah, tough luck for Ivan on that one. Probably was the right call, but he got his third foul with 2 seconds left in the half. That's never good.
Wilson Smith checks into the ball game for Murillo. With 2.7 seconds left to go, 23-22. Indians trail by 1, but Moyer at the line to shoot front end 1-1. Indians need to block out here and get a quick shot up. First free throw off the back iron, no good. Peters with the rebound. Shot at the buzzer. Off, no good. So the halftime score, Northeast Arma 23, Indians of St. Paul 22. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. You know, St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back. About 8 minutes left here in halftime between the boys game, where Northeast leads the Indians of St. Paul 23-22. And pretty good energy first half by the Indians. They just need to clean up the turnovers and also do a little better job shooting from the outside.
Yeah, you know, the turnovers first quarter, kind of like the girls' game, wasn't too bad. Only had 2 turnovers the first quarter, 8 in that second quarter, Dan, and it just seemed like, you know, we went through stretches where we weren't getting shots off because of the turnovers, and then when we were getting shots off, we were just cold that second quarter, shooting only about 30%. For the half, we're 36%, but you know, I think, like I said, the energy is there. I thought the offensive rebound, especially that first quarter, was good. We got probably 8 points off putbacks, you know, and you can't complain. It's been a tough season for the Indians all year long. So if you're playing against a Northeast team, you're only down 1 point going into half, I don't think Coach Whitrick could be too disappointed.
No, and a little bit of foul trouble for the Indians. I think Norris and Murillo both with 3 fouls in that first half.
Yeah, you know, those are our 2 bigs down low, and they both are in a little bit of foul trouble. And you know, hopefully they can get through that third quarter without any trouble. But you know, other than that, our guards I haven't gotten into foul trouble. So you know, like I said, I think they can still be aggressive on defense right now, at least out of top.
Ross will run down all the scoring for both teams after this next 2-minute timeout. You listen to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse here in St. Paul, where Northeast leads the Indians of St. Paul 23-22. Here at halftime, you want to run down scoring, Ross?
Yeah, 6 Indians got in the scorebook tonight in the first half, Dan, led by Landon Beechner with 7 points, followed by Austin O'Hara. I think both of his are on offensive rebound, or 4 of his 5 points are offensive rebound putbacks. Ivan Murillo chipped in 4, Trey Peters had 2, and Kaiser Whitrick had 2, as well as Peyton Norris. So nice balance scoring for the Indians. As far as Northeast goes, we talked a little bit about Carter Dugan, really doing a nice job. Big, strong kid for them, has 12 points. And then Kevin Moyer, not a big kid, but quick to the basket. He has 8 points for Armin as well. So, you know, shooting-wise, you look at the stats, Dan, 36% for the Indians for the first half. Not horrible, but you'd like to see that just a little bit higher. But, you know, definitely pretty solid for the Indians, but the 3-point shooting score we're kind of lacking 1 for 10 for 10%. So, you know, maybe instead of shooting threes, we ought to keep taking that ball to the basket. I think we have some quickness and we can take it to the basket. We've had when we do, a lot of good things have happened, whether we either get the foul or we're able to dish it off for an easy one down low. And I think if you're Coach Whitrick, you're probably telling the kids to keep, to dribble drive instead of maybe trying to pull up for the 3. Only shot 1 free throw for the first half, but we made it, so I guess you can say we're shooting 100% from the free throw line.
There you go. 3:14 left to go here in halftime. 23-22. Northeast leads by 1. It's been a back and forth ball game, fairly close ball game the whole first half. Indians led by as many as 3 with about 2 minutes left to go in that first half, but let Northeast come back here. So see if the Indians can maybe do a little better job of shooting from outside the arc here in the second half and keep Dugan shut down for Northeast, cause some turnovers. I think they'll be all right, Ross.
Yeah, I think, knock our turnovers down just a little bit, shoot solid, and keep Dugan from really taking over. And I think we can get a good win tonight.
2:30. Oops, sorry.
No, a league game too. So
a league game,
yeah.
yes. So we're going to come back with the second half after this last 2-minute timeout. You listen to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back as we get set to tip off the second half. 23-22, Northeast up by 1. It'll be St. Paul's basketball to start this third period. What's the keys to the second half here, Ross?
Cut down the turnovers, shoot a solid percentage, and make sure number 12 doesn't get in rhythm in that second half.
I agree. We have the boys between Peters, Landon Beechner, and even Ivan Morello. Shoot the ball pretty decent from outside the arc. That 1 for 10, they need to clean that up, in my opinion. And as you said, overall, if they could get closer to that 40% or above from shooting from the field and get some offensive rebounds, I think they could have some success. Also, if Northeast keeps running that press, Ross, they need to break that press, try to get some transition points in that third quarter.
Yeah, don't just break it and then run your offense. Break it and try to get the layup. And we've had some opportunities. Just maybe a travel or a turnover at the wrong time.
As we're underway here in the second half, Peters, Beechner, Murillo, Watrick, and O'Hara on the floor for the Indians. Northeast sets up on defense, playing a man-to-man here. See if they can spread it out here, get a little one-on-one action. Trey Peters got some size advantage over Troth, too, who's on him. Might want to get him down on the post, run a little ISO play. Beechner, three-pointer from the top of the key. Murillo, good offensive rebound. Put back, no good. Fought for underneath. It comes down with his Northeast. Troth with the basketball.
Yeah, 2 chances there, Dan, and just couldn't get it to fall.
Dugan with it. Feeds Troth. Altman right through his arms and out of bounds. So good defensive stand to start the third period here.
It'd be nice to see Trey start to get a little rhythm, too. He's usually one of our leading scorers, and, and be nice to have him have a good second half.
Beechner feeds it into Watrick. Boy, about lost it out of bounds. Beechner back to Watrick as Northeast pressed. Ahead to Peters. Peters to the free throw line, shot up good, but whistling for a charge as he drove right into that set player instead of dishing it off because we had a few numbers there. A good aggressive play by Trey, but good defensive stand by Northeast as Peter draws his first foul of the night, first team foul on the Indians.
Yeah, it was good defense by Armin. It was the right call.
Dugan with Alderman lobs it in. Dugan stolen by Peters. Good job by the Indians defense to start this third period. Need to get the offense rolling. Trey Peters going to get whistled for 2 charges in a row.
Yeah, having tough luck there. He had an opening to get into the lane, and he took it, but one of the defenders stepped in front of him, and yeah, he kind of lowered his shoulder on that one too, Dan. I don't know if the defender was set, but he did have his shoulder lowered.
Don't want to stop being aggressive driving to the rim, but need a little more spark when you're in that traffic. Dugan with the basketball. O'Hara on him, cross-court pass over to Moyer, drives into the rim, floater on the way, tough shot, no good. Murillo with the rebound. That's going to be a foul on Moyer. He's a scrappy little player for a guy that's about 5'4", maybe.
Yeah, he's not big, but all his points have been in the lane. He just drives it hard to the basket, and he gets a shot off.
Clafley into the game. I believe he has 3 fouls, so you're going to have to be careful early on here. Peters with it. He slows things up above the timeline, feeds it off to Murillo. Long three-pointer by him, no good. That's going to be a foul on O'Hara, away from the basketball. And that's going to be his
third or fourth.
Fourth, I believe. We'll see here. Third team foul on the Indians. Fourth on Austin O'Hara. Not a smart foul by Austin with 6:12 left to go in the third.
2 minutes in, and neither team has gotten a basket yet, Dan.
Oh, that was a walk, and it was Richard. Drive to the basket. That's, I believe, Northeast has turned the ball over every down the court offensively, so the Indians doing a good job defensively. Landon Beechner back to Watrick. Watrick going to get called for travel. So it is a game of turnovers here in this third period in the first 2 minutes. Ugly.
Well, I guess you can look at it from the standpoint of we're not playing good, but we're still only down 1 point.
Richard with the ball to Moyer. Moyer, right wing, back to Richard. Up top to Troth. Troth against Murillo all the way to the rim. Boy, he went right past Ivan and scores and gives Northeast a 3-point lead.
Yeah, probably a tough matchup for Ivan. 20's a little bit smaller, but a bit quicker.
Beechner, three-pointer on the way. Good! He ties the score at 25 as Landon buries a 3 from the right wing. Dugan with the basketball, feeds it off to Troth. Troth with it, drives against Murillo. Bounce pass to Clafley, tries to feed it into the lane. Ball's loose on the ground. Dugan chases down Troth with the 3, and it's good, and he's fouled.
Yeah, that was kind of started by Carter Dugan tracking down the loose ball, dribbling in the lane, drawing the defense to him, kicks it out for the open 3. But on the closeout, really, I think Ivan was trying to box him out more than block the shot, but he kind of clipped him as he went by him and going to have a chance for a 4-point play.
And that's the third foul on Peyton Norris on the block out, not a smart foul, as Troth swings the ball game by 4 points in one possession.
Troth has all 7 of Arma's points this third quarter.
Watrick with the basketball. Count is on against his press, drives the sideline, and White. Timeout. Coach Watrick and St. Paul. It's going to be St. Paul's basketball out of the timeout. We'll go ahead and stay here. 4:56 left to go into third. 29-25. Northeast up by 4. Indians pretty sloppy start to the third period by both teams, honestly.
Yeah, we're 1 for 4 shooting, Dan, and 3 of those shots have been 3-pointers, but that's a little deceptive because Trey Peters has had 2 good drives into the lane and made shots, but he got called for a charge each time. So, and then what happens is when you start getting a few charge calls instead of still being aggressive going to the basket. You start settling for those 3-pointers, and I'm not sure, that's really what we want to do. So I think hopefully Coach Whitrick probably told the team, hey, keep trying to go to the basket. They're not going to call a charge every time.
Yeah, how many turnovers already in the first 4 minutes of the third? Well, 3 minutes actually.
Yeah, we got 3 or 4 turnovers already.
Yep.
Especially when you count the charges.
Peters with the basketball, left wing with the basketball. Indians trail by 4, 29-25. Really, every possession is going to count in this ball game as both teams. Beechner with the long three, good! From the left wing, 2 for 2 from outside the arc. He was deep on that one.
Yeah, 2 in a row for Landon, so much for driving to the basket, not shooting threes.
Moyer looked like he traveled. Troth with it. Feeds it back to number 21, Richard, to Dugan. Dugan back out to Clafley. Drives past Pauly. Troth, ball fake, jump shot on the way. Long, no good. Rebound comes out to Peters.
I think I try to at least get Landon a touch on this one. There he is, wide open 3.
Long one, off the back iron, no good. Dugan with the rebound.
I think that was the right idea, though. Get the ball to your hot shooter.
Dugan in. Oh man, that was whistled before there was any contact.
Yeah, and they're gonna call. Is that gonna be a 3?
Trey Peters picks
That's
up his third foul, 5th team foul on the Indians. 29-28. Got to really be careful here as the Indians getting in foul trouble.
Yeah, I got some key players getting in foul trouble, and that's going to be something to watch for later in the game.
Moyer up to Troth. To Dugan, 3-pointer on the way, in and out, no good. Rebound, Beechner.
Yeah, that one, I think, touched every part of the rim, but rolled out.
Beechner with the basketball, top of the key. Feeds it to Trey Peters, right wing. Peters, good drive, left hand. That's not a charge, and it is a block as Peters going to go line and shoot 2.
Yeah, nice job by Trey. He's gone in hard two times this half and gotten the charge call, but it's nice that he was able to go in aggressive, and he was under control that time, Dan, and he got the call. First
foul on Cole Richard. Peters goes the line to shoot 2. Indians trail by 1, 29-28. Peters at the line, first one on its way, can't get it to go. Rolls off the side of the rim. Coach Whitrick is a young squad this year. Landon Beechner a sophomore. Trey Peters a sophomore. Kaiser Whitrick a sophomore. Dylan Pauly a sophomore. And Peyton Norris a junior on the floor.
And even your juniors, Dan, just didn't get a lot of playing time last year. So your upperclassmen really don't have a lot of experience either.
A foul on the floor by Dylan Pauly, the 6th team foul on the Indians. I was impressed with Dylan Pauly the other night against Columbus. He came into that game, comes off the bench, and man, he is a rebounder and does a great job of getting position and rebounding. So see if that will help the Indians here tonight.
Yeah, he's one of those kids that the ball kind of finds him on it when it bounces around.
Dugan drives the lane, kicks it out. 3-pointer by Troth. Off the rim, no good, just off the side of the rim. Rolled all over the left side of the rim and fell off. 29-29, Beechner with the basketball for the Indians. Clafley on him, feeds it off to Peter. Peters dribbles to his left, feeds it off to Dylan Pauly. Pauly feeds it back to Peters at right wing. Peters crosses over towards the top of the key, drives to the left, floater on the way, rolls off. Peyton Norris with the rebound, put back, no good. Peters fights for it, and it's going to be a jump ball possession arrow to Northeast.
Well, good job, Trey with the drive, and nice job on the offensive rebound. Just tough luck on the putback.
Clafley with the basketball for Northeast, tied at 29, 2:41 left to go in the third. Murillo back to the scores table. Troth to the rim, dishes, good dish. Feed, no good. Shot, no good by Dugan. Rebound, Moyer. Back to Clafley at the Troth at the top of the key. Feeds it into Dugan against Whitrick. Kicks it out to Moyer. Moyer crosses over, back to 3-pointer on the way by number 21, Richard, and he buries it and gives Northeast 3-point lead. Whitrick with the basketball. Feeds it to Beechner. Beechner tries to feed it back to Norris. Got a little trouble. Who's that going to be out on? It's going to be out on Northeast and stay with the Indians of St. Paul.
Yeah, I kind of got a lucky bounce on that one. Landon went in, caught in the air, and didn't have anyone to throw it to in front of him, so he kind of tried to drop pass it back behind him to Norris, but it should have been intercepted by an Arma, but kind of went off their hands.
St. Paul basketball. Norris feeds it into Peters. St. Paul trails by 3, 32-29. And that's going to be a block on the floor. Third team foul on Northeast. That's going to be on number 20, Troth. That's his third. Norris set to put the ball in play for the Indians. Sub into the game, number 2, Aldman for Troth. Peyton Norris on the sideline with the basketball. Ooh, should have given it to Landon. Feeds it into Peters, and that's going to be a moving screen on Watrick, number 4. Let's see. 7th team foul on the Indians.
Yeah, they're already in the bonus with 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Aldman with the basketball for Northeast. They lead by 3, just under 2 minutes left to go in the third. Off to, and the steal, Murillo comes out there with it off of Richard. Murillo back down the court, feeds it to Beechner. Thought about the long 3, passes on it. Now he steps back and even a little bit further, and he gets it to go. Deads it off the back of the rim, and it rolls in and ties the score at 32.
Yeah, that was a good bounce. I was starting to mark that down as a miss, and it ended up rolling in.
Moyer with it, up to Aldman, tied at 32, 1:20 left to go in the third. Moyer with it, back to Aldman. Good ball movement. Clafley, floater on the way, no good. Oh, no, rebounding. Luckily, Clafley was standing on the line as he tried to jump back in bounds. Boy, Coach Watrick has a reason to be upset because the Indians did not block out the shooter. Let Clafley, as he carried his momentum out of bounds, almost come back in and get his own rebound.
Yeah, kind of better lucky than good on that one.
Beechner throws it back to Watrick. Watrick all the way into the lane. Floater on the way, gets it to go. Good drive by Kaiser. 56 seconds left to go in the third. 2-point lead for the Indians. Ball fake. Lob into Dugan. Layup no good. Gets his own rebound. Ball's loose on the ground. Put back no good. Gets his own rebound again. Kicks it out to Clafley. 13-footer on the way. No good. Rebound saved inbounds to Watrick. Slow down here. Get a good shot. 30 seconds left to go in the third. St. Paul leads by 2, 34-32.
Yeah, Arma's got to be frustrated. They had about 4 offensive rebounds and putbacks and just couldn't get it to fall.
18 seconds left to go in the third. Indians up by 2. Coach Watrick wanting to go for the last shot here, see if they can set Landon up for a 3 here maybe. Peters, 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7. They're going to have to do something here. Nobody moving. Peters with it, 3 seconds. Watrick going to be open for a 3. There it is, and it's off. No good. Not a bad look, though. And at the end of 3, 34-32, Indians up by 2. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back, 34-32. Indians up by 2 to start the fourth period, Ross.
Yeah, only 4 from 11 from the field, but 3 from, say, 3 of those were 3-pointers, Dan. So if you're going to make them, you might as well make 3-pointers. Landon Beechner with all 3, really giving them a big boost that third quarter.
Trey Peters. Indians start with the basketball in the fourth period. Every possession It's going to be important here in this fourth period for the Indians offense.
Yeah, I think we're going to keep those turnovers down and get shots.
Tough shot from the elbow for Landon. Kind of lost it as he went up. Rolls off Northeast with the rebound. Aldman looked like he traveled with it. Gets away with it. There's a walk by Richard, and he gets traveled for it. So the Indians doing a good job causing enough turnovers against Northeast. They just need to hit some shots here offensively. Handle the press a little bit better as Northeast retreats out of the press and retreats into their man-to-man defense.
Yeah, Austin O'Hara's back in. He's got 4 fouls. He's got to be careful.
Bad pass by Watrick. Dugan all the way down. Left-hand layup, good. 34-34, tied up.
They did a nice job against Dugan in that third quarter. He didn't score, but he did get his first basket of the second half right there.
Northeast, Murillo with it as the Indians break the press. Watrick, good feed to O'Hara. He loses it, saves it back in bounds, tries to get to Murillo, and a steal goes back to Northeast. Dugan back with it. Indians need to get back, turn around, all the way down, layup, and it's going to be a block on Beechner's. Didn't get back quick enough. It's going to send Dugan the line to shoot two, and that's twice where the Indians has let Dugan drive the ball down all the way down to court, not getting back quick enough on defense.
Yeah, and Landon was really just trying to get out of the way that time, Dan, but couldn't do it fast enough and got called for the foul. Back on the other end, Kaiser Weitrick with a great pass to Austin. He just couldn't get a handle on it, and ended up going for maybe an easy 2-point basket to a turnover or a basket or free throws on the other end.
Dugan makes the first, settles in for a second, gives Northeast a 1-point lead, 35-34. Short on the second. Landon with the rebound. Beechner walks the ball up the left-hand side of the court, feeds it up top to Peters. Peters with the basketball to his right, into the lane, spins, left-handed shot, no good. Murillo fights for it, and Dugan comes down with it.
I like the idea, though, Dan, not selling for the jump shot, driving it in and trying to draw some contact.
Aldman with it, picks up his dribble, dead ball situation. Now steal by Peters, and that's going to be a foul on Aldman. Only the 4th team foul on Northeast in the second half. 6:16 left to go in the game. Northeast up by 1.
You know, Landon had three three-pointers in that third quarter. I think maybe I try to get him open for a three, see what happens.
Watrick loses it for a minute, gets it off to Peters. Need Trey Peters to start warming up a little bit too.
Yeah.
Drives into the lane again, step back, kicks it off to Beechner. Beechner at left wing with the basketball, dribbles to his left, or right, excuse me, off to O'Hara. O'Hara, a little jump shot, no good. But he's fouled, and what are they going to call it? He's going to go line, yeah. He's going to go line to shoot 2. So Austin goes to free throw line, 5:46 left to go in the game. Indians trail by 1. Second foul on number 12, Dugan. 5th team foul on Northeast as O'Hara gets the first, ties the score at 35. Settles in for his second. It's on its way. Off the back iron, no good. Boy, if he'd have fouled his shot, he'd got the rebound. Dugan right back down with it. Outside the arc. Pulls it back out to Aldman. Aldman to his right against Peters. Hands it off to Dugan. Dugan picks up his dribble. Now feeds it. Good bounce pass to Aldman. Shot. Boy, I don't know how he got that one to go. I think it slipped out of his hands and went through the basket.
Yeah, he lost the handle on it, but it went straight up and in.
37-35, 2-point lead for Northeast. Three-pointer by O'Hara, off, no good, and it's out on Northeast.
Yeah, Coach Weitrick, I don't know if he's wanting Austin to shoot the three at that point in the possession.
5:14 left to go in the game, 37-35, Northeast up by 2. Moyer back into the game for Northeast. Peters picks him up. Troth with it, feeds it over to Clafley, wide open for the three, but he passes. Dugan now with it, ball fake, drives in, gets it stripped away for a moment, back out to Moyer. Moyer tries to feed in the lane, it's poked away, but it stays with Northeast. Number 21 all the way into the rim, up and under, no good. That was Richard with the shot, no good. Indian rebound. Watrick back down with it, 4:46 left to go in the game. Northeast up by 2. Trey Peters with the basketball. Off to O'Hara. As Murillo got a little size advantage, and Coach Watrick really wanting to look at Murillo down on the post.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to feed it down low. We do have the size advantage at that spot. And let's see if they're going to double team Ivan now.
O'Hara off the Beechner, long three-pointer, good! That's Landon's 12th point from outside the arc. Gives the Indians a 1-point lead. Drive to the basket. It's going to be a foul on the floor. That's going to be Trey Peters' 4th foul, and that's going to send Northeast to the line shoot to 1-1.
That's Landon's 4th this half. He has the one in the first half too, so it gives him 5 for the game.
5 threes in the game, shooting well. Outside the arc here in the second half is Landon. To the line to shoot to 1-1 is Troth. 9th team foul on the Indians. Gets it to roll over the rim, ties the score at 38.
And that was a big shot because, you know, we were down 2, and you don't want to let that lead climb up to 4. A young team like ours, you know, sometimes you get down 2 possessions late in the game. That's hard to overcome.
Troth at the line for his second. It's on its way. In and out, no good. And it's out on Dugan and off of Dugan and O'Hara fighting for it. Tied at 38, 4:05, halfway through the 4th period. Watrick right into traffic, and it's going to be a travel to Northeast as Watrick tried to rifle that to the middle of the court against the press, and it was right in between 2 Northeast players. Give it right back to Landon. He does. Landon with his right hand towards the center of the court. Need to advance it on down the court. We're going to have some numbers. Feeds it to Watrick, knocked out of bounds by Northeast. It'll stay with Indians of St. Paul.
Yeah, Indians are looking, you know, these last 2 trips down against the press, they've panicked just a little bit. They need to just settle down and, you know, get it down and break that and maybe try for an easy shot.
Beechner with the basketball. Clafley on him. It's another post-up opportunity too. Landon got some size on Clafley. And get him on a little post. A little floater by Trey Peters, no good. Dugan with the rebound. 3:32 left to go in the game. Tied at 38, Northeast basketball. Left wing to Clafley. Down to Moyer at the baseline. Double team, gets in the lane, kicks it out. 3-pointer straight on. Good. Troth keeps making the Indians pay. Beechner with the basketball. Somebody needs to get away from him, get on down the court. Watrick now with it, in traffic, loses it. Oh, we got 4-0. Beechner with the basketball. Oh, my goodness. And it's going to be a walk with the basketball.
Yeah, that was tough luck on that one. Our spacing hasn't been real good on the press break. Too many guys too close together, which means it's easy for one defender to defend 2 guys. And we finally kind of get it down the court, and we had guys standing wide open under the basket. We just couldn't see him. We ended up pitching it out to Landon, and then we had the travel.
2:51 left to go in the game. 3-point ball game. Clafley travels with the basketball, luckily, because he was open underneath the basket. Instead of shooting it, tried a ball fake. Yeah, I don't know how come Kaiser couldn't see the other 3 guys standing underneath the basket wide open. He was worried about where Landon was going, trying to get him to go to the rim, and Murillo was standing, I mean, there was all by himself under the basket.
Yeah.
Beechner with the basketball. Indians really need to attack against that press. Or 3-pointer by Peters from the left wing. In and out, no good. Fighting for it, and Northeast comes down with the basketball. Richard with it. Indians trail by 3. 2:24 left to go in the game. Troth thought about the 3, passed up on it. Passes down underneath the Clafley. Bounce pass stolen away by Watrick. Feeds it off to Murillo.
Nice rotation on the backside to knock that ball loose by Kaiser.
Timeout, St. Paul. We'll go ahead and take a 1-minute timeout. You know, St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. welcome back. 41-38. Northeast up by 3. Indians going to have possession of the basketball. Now, the Indians don't need a 3 here, but they sure do need some points off of this possession to keep to get it to a 1-point game or a tie game with 2 minutes left to go in the game.
Yeah, just 1 for 6 in this fourth quarter, Dan. With you don't want to give up another possession without scoring, and we can't go up. Well, spoke too soon with the turnover. Landon thought Trey was posting up, and Trey started to cut about the time Landon threw the entry pass, and it rolled out of bounds. Just a little miscommunication between those two players.
1:58. Indians need to cause turnover. I wouldn't. Coach Watrick might set up a little bit of press here. You don't want to put them in the double bonus. You ain't gonna have much choice. But Northeast going to be happy just burning some time here with 1:49 left. Clafley with the basketball. Indians need to pick up the intensity, not necessarily foul. Now Moyer loses it, gets it himself, cut off by O'Hara. Drives out of the lane, no pressure there, letting him go right out of the lane. 1:34, Indians run out of time. Northeast just going to be tickled pink to run the clock out. Dugan kicks it out to Moyer. He walked. Floater on the way, and he scores. Watrick with the basketball. Now all of a sudden it's a 5-point ball game, and Kaiser's slowing things up against the press, and we've got to score because I see it takes us 3 possessions to at least score 5 points. Norris ends up with it right under the rim, misses it, put back good.
Yeah, nice job by Peyton, kind of in the right place at the right time. He missed the first one, but he's the tallest guy on the court, and he was able to put it right back in on the follow-up.
Surprise, Coach. Oh, Northeast calls a timeout. To me, that's a favor. Full timeout. We're going to go ahead and take a 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Well, welcome back. 43-40. Northeast up by 3 and have possession of the basketball. And to me, Northeast did the Indians a little bit of favor by calling a timeout there. Indians are going to have to go for an inbounds steal here, Ross.
Yeah, that timeout let the Indians maybe catch their breath a little bit, which is good, and set up the defense on how we want to play this inbounds pass. But you got a minute left, Dan. You're down 3. When do you start fouling, you think?
Well, you don't have much choice but to foul pretty quick. If you don't get the inbounds, you got to create a turnover within 10 seconds. I hear you got to foul, but the problem is you put them in a double bonus, so you want to be real selective who you foul because there's still a lot of time. The Indians just let them easily inbound the ball with 53 seconds left. There's nobody even close to Troth. I don't really understand how come you can play 15 feet from him with 45 seconds. Now Dugan with the basketball. Watrick up tight on him, crosses over. Off to Troth. He's wide open for a 3, but he's not going to shoot that, or if he shoots it, he better make it. Moyer with it, and now Beechner fouls him, and it's going to send Moyer to the line to shoot 2.
Guess the answer to the question is you wait 24 seconds, Dan, before you start fouling.
I don't really understand how come we didn't deny the inbounds even any more than that.
Yeah, we didn't deny the inbounds, and seemed like the player who had the ball was probably who our post was supposed to be guarding, and they had him out on the perimeter, and it was awful hard for Peyton to get out there and guard someone out on the perimeter. We didn't foul very quickly, but we really didn't put a lot of pressure on him on defense either.
I learned in football that you never question Coach Watrick because he knows what he's doing. So Moyer at the line to shoot his second, makes 1 of 2, and it's a 4-point ball game. Timeout Northeast with a 4-point lead, 44-40. We'll go ahead and stay here. 28.9 seconds left in the game. So the Indians are going to have to come down and score quick. I see Coach Watrick probably getting a quick timeout after we score and then setting the Indians up in a full court press.
Yeah. Out of the last timeout, we came out and we kind of put Landon and Trey, our 2 best offensive players, on this right side and tried to isolate him. Ended up not working with the pass that went out of bounds, but I wouldn't be surprised to do something similar where we just play a little two-man basketball with our best two players.
And you don't need a three. I mean, really, a three doesn't do you much good here. I mean, obviously it does you a lot of good to get you back within one, but you don't have to have a three.
No.
Northeast, surprisingly, which with 5 team fouls is a smart move. They're going to stay in this full court press.
Yeah.
They got a foul to give, so that's really a smart move by the Northeast coach.
And then when they just let us dribble right through it, so that worked out pretty good. Oh,
Watrick fires up a three off the iron, no good. Murillo putback, no good. Fights for the rebound, and it's going to be Northeast basketball off the jump ball.
Well, you had what you wanted as far as you didn't need the three, but the look was wide open, so you can't fault Kaiser for taking that. And it looked like it was maybe going to go in, and then we got the backside offensive rebound.
Yeah.
We had a chance to put that back in. So
Clafley with it. Now Dugan, 15 seconds, 14 seconds. Not going to. Troth with it. Now they're playing, and that's going to be a foul on Dugan, isn't it? Yeah, that's going to be Dugan.
Yeah.
That's going to be on Northeast, and I agree. Peyton Norris had the steal, and Dugan tried to go through him to get it.
Yeah.
That's going to send Peyton Norris line to shoot. Is that just 16 foul or 7?
It should be.
That is his 6th team foul.
16 foul. Yeah, I guess they had 5 to that point.
So you got 8 seconds. You need 4 points. You got to fire up a 3 here. Quick now, score. Timeout. Get a full court press. Try to get another steal.
Yeah,
It's going to have it quick. Or go hard to the rim. Try to draw a foul. Here comes Peters. He does. Drives past the first guy. All the way in. Oh, he kicked it out to Murillo. He should have went right to the rim.
Yeah.
1.5 seconds left. It's going to be out on the Indians, and it's going to go back to the Vikings. So Vikings are going to come out with a 44-40 victory here at Billy Fager Fieldhouse. The Indians played hard, just couldn't quite get over the hump. And Northeast wins 44-40 over the Indians. We'll be back with final game stats after this 2-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Thank everybody for joining us on the live stream. Indians fall a little bit short, 44-40. The Lady Indians come out victorious, pick up Coach Tuck's 600th win. Join us Tuesday night as we start midseason tournament play, where the Lady Indians and the boys will travel to Marvin Valley to play Iola.